A desolate, snow-covered landscape reveals a gnarled tree and unsettling bloodstains, hinting at a grim past. Fresh, vivid blood splatters starkly across the pristine white snow, highlighting a moment of injury or conflict. From above, a figure collapses, exhausted in the deep snow, their struggle punctuated by ragged breaths and swirling flakes. His face contorts in pain and fierce determination, purple eyes blazing as he gasps through the biting cold. The man runs desperately through the frozen forest, battling the brutal cold and his profound confusion about the situation. Wounded and pursued, the man falls in the snow before forcing himself to flee again through the desolate landscape. A gruesome wound bleeds freely as the man cries out in agony, collapsing violently into the snow. Utterly exhausted and wounded, the man slumps against a snowdrift as a large sword remains impaled nearby. Kneeling in pain, the injured man endures cruel taunts from an unseen foe, urging him to simply perish. A new figure, Master Yoo Baekjun, stands stoically among shadowy forms in the snow, his presence ominous. The protagonist's eyes widen, with a blend of fear and dawning realization as he faces his grim pursuers. His sweat-beaded purple eye reflects deep regret, a quiet, if only, echoing his desperate thoughts. A bet back then. A dark realization sets in. His fate was tied to becoming a character within a game. A mysterious voice on a dark screen proposes a crucial bet, its words glowing with an ominous light. The Supreme Lord's message appears, offering a wish as a prize for clearing a specific game route. The young protagonist, in his room, ponders the strange offer of a wish for clearing a game. The protagonist proudly recounts clearing Hero's Road using the character Yoo Baekjun. The protagonist notices the game's chat room is empty, wondering where everyone else went. Hero's Road game screen prominently displays the character Yoo Baekjun, tied to the mysterious bet. The radiant title, Hero's Road, gleams against a dark, digital backdrop. The game Hero's Road is introduced as a world where monster-filled gates open into a modern setting. Players control hunters in Hero's Road, fighting monsters in a modern world, a highly anticipated game. Hero's Road boasts a rich world, 5 diverse characters, and surprising popularity for a single-player game. Despite its release, Hero's Road remained unconquered. Not a single player had cleared it. Broken weapons and bloodied floors underscore the game's unforgiving difficulty, demanding a full restart upon death. A lone figure clutches their head in exasperation, symbolizing the game's immense frustration. Hellish 0.1% clear rate ultimately led the game to ruin. A leaderboard confirms only one person, the protagonist, achieved a clear using the difficult Yoo Baekjun character. That's me. His blue eye, sharp and focused, hints at a deeper resolve. A system message reveals he's the sole player in a special Hero's Road beginning only room. Alone in the chat, the protagonist wonders if the game is deserted or if he's been left behind. A system alert signals the arrival of the Supreme Lord into the chat room. The protagonist recognizes the new arrival as the Supreme Lord, the chat room leader. The Supreme Lord expresses surprise at finding the protagonist, claiming to have kicked everyone out. The Supreme Lord dismisses the protagonist's question, reaffirming a mysterious promise instead. The Supreme Lord reiterates his proposal. Want to make a bet with me? The protagonist confirms the bet's terms, a wish for clearing the proposed game route. The protagonist imagines a lavish wish, while nervously contemplating the consequences of failure. The Supreme Lord's dismissive response about failure immediately raises the protagonist's suspicion. The Supreme Lord asks if he's fully cleared the game, prompting the protagonist to hesitate. His hand hovers over the keyboard as he internally debates revealing his full game mastery. His eye reflects self-awareness as he considers his gamer habit of seeking attention. Seizing his moment for recognition, the protagonist makes a claim, which the Supreme Lord then challenges. The Supreme Lord presses him about the bet, but the protagonist remains deeply suspicious. Despite his unease, the protagonist accepts the Supreme Lord's persistent offer of a bet. An ominous message declares the protagonist the last one, and the best among all players so far. A confident smile on his face, the protagonist boasts of clearing the game with every character. A sudden surge of chaotic energy and a pounding heart signal an abrupt, reality-bending transition. The screen glitches violently, signaling an abrupt and disorienting shift in reality for the protagonist. The protagonist feels a sudden, profound dizziness, clutching his head in confusion and discomfort. A stark message warns the protagonist that the game is now his harsh new reality. An ominous declaration emphasizes the irreversible nature of his current predicament. The protagonist's hand appears translucent, hinting at a transformative, dreamlike transition. Abstract blue and black lines swirl, conveying a chaotic and unsettling distortion of reality. Shifting blue and purple hues create an unsettling, glitching atmosphere, indicating a profound change. A bold, glitching message asserts that the protagonist willingly chose this new reality. The protagonist, now with long hair and purple eyes, awakens face down in the deep snow, disoriented. A mysterious, dark figure stands silently in the snowy landscape, observing the protagonist. The protagonist, newly transformed, stares in confusion, questioning his sudden, strange surroundings. The protagonist appears as a small, bewildered figure lost in a vast, snow-covered forest. His face contorts in surprise and confusion as he looks upon his altered appearance. The protagonist examines his unexpectedly long hair, pondering his changed physical form. He appears startled, wondering if his hair has always been this unexpectedly long. A close-up of his striking purple eye highlights his sudden realization and focus. The transformed protagonist walks away from a new character and his shadowy group in the snow. Shin Woo-hyun, smiling ominously, greets the protagonist as Master Baekjun alongside his silent followers. The protagonist is shocked to recognize Shin Woo-hyun, questioning if his encounter is a dream. Shin Woo-hyun confirms his identity as the protagonist's master, solidifying the shocking reality. Shin Woo-hyun maintains a polite but unsettling smile while bringing up their upcoming training. The protagonist recognizes Shin Woo-hyun's words from the game, feeling a growing sense of dread. Shin Woo-hyun's expression turns grim, promising a far harsher training session than expected. The protagonist's eyes widen in fear as Shin Woo-hyun reveals his older brother desires his death. The protagonist, Yoo Baekjun, reacts quickly as a purple energy attack closes in. Blood stains Yoo Baekjun's chest as he collapses, screaming in pain from the wound. Shin Woo-hyun and his group express surprise that Yoo Baekjun managed to evade a fatal blow. Shin Woo-hyun taunts Yoo Baekjun, declaring the blood of a sword saint will not save him from being a disgrace. Shin Woo-hyun coldly states his intent to kill Yoo Baekjun, promising a, quote, painless death due to his training. The protagonist is aghast, fully comprehending that this terrifying ordeal is horrifyingly real, not a game. The protagonist resolves to set aside questions, focusing solely on immediate survival. If I mess up, I'll die. Shin Woo-hyun and his shadowed group are depicted against a foreboding, blood-red background, signifying mortal danger. The protagonist takes a shaky breath, attempting to regain composure despite the perilous situation. The protagonist watches blood drip from his wounded hand, confirming the agonizing reality of his injury. The protagonist stares in disbelief, trying to process the horrifying reality of his wound and situation. His purple eye sharpens, reflecting a dawning realization amidst the chaos. The critical warning reappears. This is no longer a game. It's going to become reality for you. The protagonist connects the visual clue of his long hair to the ominous system message he last saw. The protagonist makes the chilling realization. He has become Yoo Baekjun, the game character. Despite his confusion, the protagonist prioritizes survival, recalling his extensive knowledge of the game route. The protagonist mentally prepares himself, determined to remember the specific game strategies for Yoo Baekjun's route. The protagonist identifies his current predicament as the familiar starting point of Yoo Baekjun's game route. The protagonist resolves to flee at maximum speed, recognizing escape as his only immediate option. Shin Woo-hyun and his armed group observe as the protagonist begins to run through the snowy terrain. Shin Woo-yoon watches with an intense, calculated gaze, observing the fleeing protagonist. The protagonist stumbles and falls forward into the deep snow during his desperate escape. Shin Woo-yoon's voice echoes, cruelly advising the protagonist to simply die to make things easier for everyone. Shin Woo-yoon smirks, pointedly asking the injured protagonist if he agrees with the assessment. The wounded protagonist gasps for air, utterly exhausted yet desperately clinging to life. The scene indicates a sudden continuation or intensifying action is about to unfold. Shin Woo-hyun menacingly declares his intent to kill Yoo Baekjun and his other servants, including Choi Seung-min. Shin Woo-hyun, smiling grimly, asks Yoo Baekjun for any final words before his impending death. One of Shin Woo-hyun's followers expresses concern about the blizzard intensifying around them. Shin Woo-hyun's silent followers stand in the snowy forest, sensing the changing atmosphere. A male follower of Shin Woo-hyun looks surprised, seemingly questioning the sudden environmental shift. Yoo Baekjun, with his back to Shin Woo-hyun, prepares to deliver his defiant last words. Shin Woo-hyun stands silently, listening to Yoo Baekjun's impending response. Yoo Baekjun utters a provocative insult towards Shin Woo-hyun, while an enraged ice wolf lunges at Shin Woo-hyun's group. Yoo Baekjun's eyes reflect fierce determination and cunning in the midst of chaos. A massive ice wolf crashes to the ground, seemingly struck down by an unseen force. Shin Woo-hyun stands confidently over the defeated ice wolf, his sword drawn and gleaming. Shin Woo-hyun, with visible scratches, questions if the ice wolf was drawn by a scream. Shin Woo-hyun's back is turned, conveying an abrupt, surprised reaction to something behind him. Shin Woo-hyun observes the chaos as a desperate figure flees, while a pack of ice wolves attack his group members. Shin Woo-hyun expresses annoyance at being startled and acknowledges his group's current limited usefulness. Shin Woo-hyun's group is under attack by a pack of aggressive ice wolves, further distracting him. Shin Woo-hyun contemplates the necessity of dealing with the ice wolves quickly. Shin Woo-hyun, with a grim expression, resolves to first eliminate Yoo Baekjun before facing the wolves. Shin Woo-hyun looks down, indicating he is searching for or focusing on Yoo Baekjun. The snowy forest stands silent, creating a bleak and isolating atmosphere. A large crater of broken ice and snow marks a recent impact, indicating a powerful event. Yoo Baekjun collapses against a tree in the snow, his body racked with pain and exhaustion. Yoo Baekjun examines his injured hand, questioning if he made an error in mixing healing herbs. Yoo Baekjun grimaces in intense pain, struggling with his injuries. A system notification appears, congratulating Yoo Baekjun on creating a new ointment due to his medical understanding. Yoo Baekjun stares in surprise at the glowing status window that has suddenly appeared before him. The status window confirms that Yoo Baekjun has used an unnamed ointment, implying a unique creation. The status window details that the ointment will heal his injuries and grant him temporary cold tolerance. Yoo Baekjun's eye sharpens, a spark of understanding dawning as he processes the new information. Yoo Baekjun observes his wound, which is visibly closing and healing, confirming the ointment's efficacy. Yoo Baekjun sighs in relief, realizing his self-made ointment successfully worked on his wound. Yoo Baekjun confidently states his perfect recall of Yoo Baekjun's game route, having spent years on it. Yoo Baekjun reflects on the 2 arduous years it took him to successfully beat Yoo Baekjun's game route. Yoo Baekjun sits in contemplation, looking up at the snowy sky. Yoo Baekjun expresses overwhelming despair about his grim reality, slumped against a tree. Yoo Baekjun, bewildered, questions why he has become the character Yoo Baekjun. The panel introduces the Sword Saint clan, describing its location, founder, and historical significance. The narrative continues, explaining the clan's growth and revealing Yoo Baekjun as one of the 5 successors. Yoo Baekjun comments on the real-life situation being far more challenging than the game. Yoo Baekjun's healing wound is shown, confirming the ointment stopped the bleeding, but has limited duration. Yoo Baekjun intensely focuses, realizing his urgent need for critical decisions to survive his perilous situation. Yoo Baekjun's attention is drawn to a new system message that just appeared. Yoo Baekjun deduces the game's system is still active and calls for the status window. Yoo Baekjun stares upwards as the game's glowing status window appears before him. Yoo Baekjun's eyes widen in confirmation, his deduction about the status window proving correct. The status window prominently displays Yoo Baekjun, confirming his new identity. The status window reveals Yoo Baekjun's incredibly low F-ranked stats with no listed abilities or traits. Yoo Baekjun expresses dismay at his character's abysmal stats, likening him to a helpless scarecrow. Yoo Baekjun recognizes the route's inherent danger, noting the fatal starting injury and the risk of pursuit. Yoo Baekjun reflects on buying time with the Ice Wolves, but realizes Shin Woo-yoon's artifact ensures relentless pursuit. Yoo Baekjun laments his character's dismal abilities and lack of useful items, highlighting his extreme vulnerability. Yoo Baekjun, with a look of weariness, stares into the snowy expanse, desperately pondering his survival. The narrative poses a critical question about what Yoo Baekjun must do to survive his treacherous route. Yoo Baekjun's eyes narrow with determination, a flicker of resolve appearing as he plans his next steps. Yoo Baekjun confidently steps into the forest of maze, believing he can find an escape route. Blood stains the snow, revealing the gory aftermath of a violent encounter with dismembered ice wolf remains. Shin Woo-hyun and his followers stand silently amidst the bloody snow and dead ice wolves. A male follower looks surprised, observing a faint, mysterious blue light emanating from the ground. A female follower reports to her master that the tracking magic artifact is behaving strangely. Shin Woo-hyun, holding a glowing tracking artifact, vows to catch and eliminate his elusive target this time. Shin Woo-hyun's group discusses their trajectory, confirming their course leads into the treacherous forest of mazes. Shin Woo-hyun declares that his followers must be prepared to risk their lives, tightening his grip on his artifact. Shin Woo-hyun ponders the drastic actions necessary to gain acknowledgement and secure his desired position from Yoo Tae-rang. Boots crunch through the snow, indicating continuous, determined movement across the frosty landscape. Yoo Baekjun gasps for air, visibly exhausted and struggling amidst his desperate flight through the snow. Yoo Baekjun flees through the snowy wilderness as narration explains monsters are humanity's enemies, hunted down. Yoo Baekjun continues his frantic run through the snow while the narrative describes categories of monsters. Yoo Baekjun hides behind a tree as the narration reveals an area notorious for being avoided by all hunters. A massive white snake with glowing blue eyes lurks menacingly within the snowy depths of Seorak Mountain. Yoo Baekjun peeks from behind a tree, filled with unease about the perils of Seorak Mountain. Yoo Baekjun collapses in the snow, wondering if the monsters have departed, as the environment proves challenging. Yoo Baekjun peeks nervously from cover, realizing his current weak state makes Seorak Mountain an incredibly dangerous place. A single boot steps onto the snow, prompting a question about Yoo Baekjun's purpose on Seorak Mountain. Shin Woo-hyun is introduced as Yoo Baekjun's instructor, who betrays him to support other successors. A past scene reveals Shin Woo-hyun receiving orders to eliminate Yoo Baekjun while his brothers were away. The player's core mission is revealed: survive the snowy wilderness and ultimately return to his clan. Yoo Baekjun appears shocked, realizing his difficult survival and return is the standard opening to his game route. A dramatic shift occurs as a foot decisively impacts the snow, signaling a new turn of events. Yoo Baekjun discovers a stone tablet in the snow, unveiling the secret reason he couldn't return to his clan. Massive stone structure hints at an unrevealed secret and hidden opportunity within Seorak Mountain's core. The mysterious stone issues a stern warning, urging those lacking courage and composure to abandon the hidden opportunity. Shin Woo-hyun and his followers stand before the ancient stone tablet in the snowy forest, observing it intently. A female follower questions Shin Woo about entering the deadly forest of mazes, fearing their demise. Shin Woo-hyun calmly asserts the need to confirm the body, reassuring her that their artifact prevents them from getting lost. Shin Woo-hyun's expression suggests a growing unease, indicating something unexpected troubles him. Shin Woo-hyun looks startled and wide-eyed, realizing Yoo Baekjun has undergone a profound transformation. Shin Woo-yoon questions Yoo Baekjun's newfound bravery, while a menacing wolf with glowing eyes watches them. Yoo Baekjun has undeniably transformed into a different person. Shin Woo-yoon's astonished expression once again emphasizes his realization of Yoo Baekjun's shocking transformation. Shin Woo-yoon and his group stand poised in the snowy forest, sensing the evolving situation around them. Shin Woo-yoon declares that his target, Yoo Baekjun, is currently on the move. Shin Woo-yoon observes fresh footprints, deducing Yoo Baekjun hasn't gone far due to his injury. Yoo Baekjun must be pursued and eliminated without delay. The snowy forest remains eerily silent, emphasizing the isolation and quiet intensity of the hunt. Shin Woo-yoon's female follower prepares for action, a determined look on her face as her fist clenches. Shin Woo-yoon's group sets off into the snowy landscape, committed to their pursuit of Yoo Baekjun. Shin Woo-yoon's group runs swiftly through the snow, indicating the urgency of their chase. The female follower looks weary and confused, implying the prolonged and disorienting nature of their pursuit. The female follower expresses concern that they are moving in circles, questioning their current path. Shin Woo-yoon sternly questions his followers, reminding them of their dangerous location. The female follower appears confused, seeking clarification on Shin Woo-yoon's warning. Shin Woo-yoon's foot firmly presses down on the male follower's face, a silent assertion of authority. The female follower's eyes widen in surprise, realizing the gravity of their situation. The female follower, sword in hand, rushes through the snowy forest alongside her companions. The female follower maintains a serious and determined expression as she moves forward. The female follower identifies their location as the treacherous forest of the labyrinth. The male follower warns of the labyrinth's deceptive nature, where victims wander endlessly to their demise. A dire warning emphasizes the labyrinth's deadly essence and the need for constant vigilance. A hand presses hard against a rough, icy surface, indicating a strenuous effort. Yoo Baekjun grimaces in pain and exhaustion, struggling for breath amidst the harsh environment. Yoo Baekjun, running through the snow, contemplates his exhaustion and the value of medicinal herbs. Yoo Baekjun reflects on an internal feeling, deeper than physical exhaustion, driving him. Yoo Baekjun stands amidst bloody snow, keenly aware of the imminent danger and possibility of death. Yoo Baekjun expresses frustration with the Supreme Lord, feeling he was not adequately warned about the risks. Yoo Baekjun walks on, realizing he was deceived but acknowledging his own choice in the perilous situation. Yoo Baekjun ponders if his past deception matters now, revealing his own secret about clearing the game. Yoo Baekjun's strength wanes as he trudges through the snow, reaching his physical limit. Yoo Baekjun searches the snowy landscape, murmuring that his destination should be nearby. The desolate, snowy forest stands silent, emphasizing the isolation and harsh conditions. Yoo Baekjun reveals a subtle, knowing smile as he declares he has found what he sought. The icy cliff edge marks the definitive, dramatic end of the labyrinth. Yoo Baekjun reflects on his initial despair upon finding the cliffs, yet now smiles with a new understanding. Standing at the cliff, Yoo Baekjun realizes his past struggles were beneficial and resolves to maintain focus. Yoo Baekjun's eyes narrow, with a determined resolve, signaling an impending moment. Yoo Baekjun faces away as Shin Woo-yoon and his group emerge from the snowy distance, calling out his name. Shin Woo-yoon grins mockingly, commenting on Yoo Baekjun's desperate flight to this location. Yoo Baekjun notes Shin Woo-yoon's disrespect, realizing their former master-disciple relationship is severed. Shin Woo-yoon's group observes Yoo Baekjun trapped at the cliff, declaring his resistance futile. Yoo Baekjun angrily confronts Shin Woo-yoon, questioning his betrayal and allegiance to Yoo Tae-rang. Shin Woo-yoon smirks, rhetorically asking if Yoo Baekjun is only now understanding the situation. Shin Woo-yoon proudly declares his support for Yoo Tae-rang, citing his strength as fitting for the clan. Yoo Baekjun confirms his suspicions through their interaction, realizing the situation mirrors the game. Having confirmed his suspicions, Yoo Baekjun recognizes the immediate danger of wasting more time. Yoo Baekjun's face distorts in pain, realizing that further delay will lead to freezing to death. Yoo Baekjun's bleeding hand stains the snow as he clutches his injured side, enduring severe pain. Yoo Baekjun curses, his face contorted in anger and frustration. Yoo Baekjun's bleeding hand indicates a critical injury. He fears bleeding out before succumbing to frostbite. Shin Woo-yoon asserts that Yoo Baekjun is already on the verge of death, making a final blow almost unnecessary. Shin Woo-yeon, blade aglow, offers a chilling mercy of a swift end, his smile hinting at cruelty. Yoo Baekjun, suffering, sarcastically thanks Shin Woo-yeon, promising a final revelation. Shin Woo-yeon looks puzzled as Yoo Baekjun mentions the artifact around his neck. Shin Woo-yeon's face shows a subtle smirk, indicating a moment of quiet confidence. Shin Woo-yeon's eye widens slightly, hinting at a sudden realization or surprise. Yoo Baekjun smirks confidently, revealing a critical, mocking truth about the artifact's single-use nature. Shin Woo-yeon unleashes a furious, powerful attack, lunging towards Yoo Baekjun. An attack slams into the ground, sending Yoo Baekjun recoiling and falling backward. Yoo Baekjun clutches his chest, blood splattering, as he cries out in intense pain. Shin Woo-yeon stands poised and confident, surrounded by his group in the snowy terrain. The scene dramatically highlights Yoo Baekjun's painful descent, emphasizing the impact of the blow. A stark, snowy landscape is marred by a dark, ominous stain, marking a recent violent event. From a distance, a figure observes the dark stain on the snow, their back turned, pondering the scene. A male follower confirms to his companion that he believes Yoo Baekjun is dead. Shin Woo-yeon holds the artifact, expressing doubt that Yoo Tae-rang will believe their story without the body. Shin Woo-yeon's hand conspicuously pulls at the round artifact, attempting to activate it. A close-up shows Shin Woo-yeon intently holding the artifact, awaiting its response with a quiet expression. Shin Woo-yeon and his followers stand in the snowy landscape, looking puzzled as the artifact fails to respond. Shin Woo-yeon's face contorts in frustration and confusion, questioning why the artifact is not activating. A shocking realization dawns on Shin Woo-yeon and his group. Yoo Baekjun might have told the truth. An unseen monster's presence is announced by its chilling declaration of smelling human blood nearby. Shin Woo-yeon and his bewildered followers suddenly turn, startled by an unseen threat behind them. Shin Woo-yeon and his group face terrifying, monstrous figures emerging from the snowy mist, a new danger. Shin Woo-yeon's expression tightens with alarm, gripping the inert artifact as their situation worsens. Yoo Baekjun tumbles through a void of crackling blue energy, plummeting to an unknown destination. Yoo Baekjun lies motionless on the ground of a desolate, rocky area, having crash-landed. Yoo Baekjun clutches his chest, spitting blood and coughing in agonizing pain from the impact. Yoo Baekjun struggles to his knees, bleeding and gasping for breath, desperately trying to recover. Yoo Baekjun's bruised face reflects intense pain and exhaustion, barely clinging to consciousness. A tear streams from Yoo Baekjun's eye, highlighting his raw emotional and physical suffering. A radiant, ancient book descends towards the fallen Yoo Baekjun, glowing with significant power. A hand reaches out to the glowing book, indicating Yoo Baekjun's intent to grasp the mysterious object. Yoo Baekjun grimaces in pain, yet a spark of renewed determination ignites within him. Yoo Baekjun's determined eye narrows, signaling his resolve to act swiftly despite his critical condition. Exhaustion and pain are etched on Yoo Baekjun's face, emphasizing his desperate need for recovery. Yoo Baekjun lies on the dark ground, reaching out for the luminous book nearby. Yoo Baekjun's hand finally rests upon the ancient glowing book, completing the connection. A system message appears, announcing the martial gods book has verified Yoo Baekjun's qualifications. Another system message confirms the verification of blood relations, linking Yoo Baekjun to the book's legacy. Yoo Baekjun lies motionless on the ground, his body still and marked with blood. The martial gods book initiates a system check, verifying Yoo Baekjun's physical attributes. A body with zero talent. Yoo Baekjun lies on the ground, a subtle, almost melancholic smile gracing his unconscious face. Yoo Baekjun's unconscious face is shown, surrounded by subtle energy, hinting at an internal process. Yoo Baekjun floats, enveloped in golden energy, as the system forcibly awakens dormant martial blood within him. A system message details the process of forcibly awakening dormant martial god's blood within Yoo Baekjun. Yoo Baekjun's eyes glow with intense, focused power, signaling the activation of his awakened abilities. A blinding flash of light erupts from Yoo Baekjun's eyes, reflecting his surging, newfound power. A colossal burst of light and energy radiates from the ground, reshaping the environment with immense force. An ethereal voice addresses Yoo Baekjun, acknowledging him as an unknown descendant. An ancient elder with a long beard is shown in profile, reflecting on his life's past. The elder meditates peacefully in a traditional room dedicated to recording all martial techniques. An abstract visual represents the elder's life nearing its end, signifying the passage of time. The elder's voice declares he leaves behind the martial gods book as his enduring legacy. The elder states the book will continue recording new martial arts even after his death, ensuring its perpetual use. The elder's spirit urges Yoo Baekjun to wield the book for a just cause. Yoo Baekjun, now revived and resolute, smiles faintly, accepting his ancestors' legacy. Yoo Baekjun confidently pledges to use the martial gods book for the right cause. A status window confirms Yoo Baekjun acquired the martial gods book and heavenly martial physique, improving his body. A system notification proudly announces that all of Yoo Baekjun's attribute ratings have significantly increased. Yoo Baekjun's updated status window displays his newfound abilities, traits, and increased attributes. A long-haired man stands amidst cave ruins, intently reading a mystical glowing book. The protagonist smiles with satisfaction, confirming his body has fully recovered from a past ordeal. His eyes gleam with anticipation as he realizes his rank has increased significantly. A confident smirk spreads across his face as he acknowledges acquiring an overpowered ability and trait. He stands alone, contemplating the immense effort required to achieve true mastery in this world. The daunting challenges of the infamous Yoo Taejun route loom, underscoring its extreme difficulty. The narrator reveals that obtaining unique abilities and traits can make difficult routes manageable. A divine status window proudly displays the protagonist's newly acquired martial gods book and heavenly martial physique. He affirms his life-risking journey was solely to obtain these powerful abilities. The status window details the heavenly martial physique, revealing its combat and learning enhancements. The trait significantly boosts stat growth, skill proficiency, and can even unlock new abilities. He realizes his new trait is immensely overpowered, assuring rapid and significant personal growth. The status window reveals the martial gods book automatically records and allows learning new techniques. A silhouette faces a powerful golden dragon, embodying the irreplaceable nature of unique abilities. The protagonist thoughtfully muses on the sheer power of someone else's unique ability. The status window clarifies that the martial gods book can teach any skill in the world. The narrative suggests the ability's scope transcends traditional martial arts. The martial gods book allows learning any combat technique, be it martial or fantasy-based. He notes a minor setback, unable to learn magic or alchemy with his current ability. He remains optimistic, knowing other avenues exist to learn various skills. The protagonist thoughtfully interacts with the glowing system window, planning his next move. His eyes narrow with focus as he prepares to make an important decision. A status window announces he has 100 points and can now accept a new quest. A hand reaches towards the glowing display, preparing to utilize the newfound points. He dismisses the available skills, deeming them useless for his immediate goals. He realizes mobility is his crucial need, not direct combat skills, and identifies a suitable technique. He asserts the fundamental and constant usefulness of mobility techniques for any situation. He hints at exciting future possibilities as his proficiency with the martial gods book grows. He stands before the glowing window, preparing for his final, critical choice. A status window reveals the available quests, presenting new challenges. He opts to skip the Catch Me If You Can quest, anticipating easy future completion. He directs his attention to the second quest, intrigued by its unique title. He reacts with mild amusement, finding the quest's name rather uninspiring. He turns slightly, seemingly in reaction to his thoughts or the system. He stands within the cave, contemplating the peculiar Righteous Bandit quest. The quest promises a complicated maze-like path with valuable early-stage rewards upon completion. He confidently declares the quest, a reward from the martial god's tomb, will be a piece of cake. He begins his journey through the maze-like path, taking purposeful steps. His eyes burn with resolve as he encounters monstrous, blue-skinned creatures in a snowy, dangerous forest. A gray-skinned creature cautiously surveys the snowy, desolate landscape. A frightened man, panting and hiding, takes cover behind a snow-covered tree. His eyes wide with terror, the frightened man trembles uncontrollably. The terrified man remains hidden, anxiously observing his surroundings. A monstrous fanged creature lunges directly at the terrified man, signifying imminent danger. The snowy forest blurs with intense motion, hinting at a rapid struggle or escape. A thought suggests the other individual has likely fled the dangerous encounter. While gathering herbs, he notes the arduous challenge of escaping the labyrinth forest. Sitting amidst gathered herbs, the protagonist questions if he collected everything needed. He confirms the successful collection of the sun herb, fire spirit herb, and fire ginseng. A look of satisfaction crosses his face as he confirms he has gathered all necessary items. Yoo Baekjun kneels before a grand chest, anticipating the successful completion of his quest. A hand reaches out to open the heavy, ornate lid of the wooden chest. The chest's contents are revealed, displaying a glowing ginseng root and a mysterious pouch within. A system status window announces the acquisition of a 1,000-year snow ginseng and a treasure keeper's pouch. A system notification confirms quest completion, awarding 500 points and the black demon item as the tomb begins to vanish. Yoo Baekjun, with a faint glow, looks up from the now open chest, clearly satisfied. Yoo Baekjun grins widely, his eyes shining with newfound power and triumph. He muses on the romanticism of classic wuxia tales and their hidden inheritances. He reflects on the cliché of a martial god's tomb being hidden under a cliff, fitting for the powerful figure. He acknowledges the typical challenge of finding such secret inheritances in difficult, labyrinthine locations. Yoo Baekjun smirks, accepting that a harder struggle usually leads to a more rewarding outcome. Now clad in a striking black robe with a detailed design, Yoo Baekjun expresses gratitude for the received items. A status window details the black demon robe, a powerful, sturdy garment with enhanced defense and adaptability features. The cave shimmers with bright blue energy, signaling the imminent collapse of the martial god's tomb. The scene transitions to a tranquil, snowy forest, with dark tree silhouettes against a lighter sky. A distant, snow-covered observation post belonging to the Sword Saint clan stands against a winter backdrop. A man playing a handheld game is interrupted by news that his ramyeon is ready, and he agrees to go. The man's hands hold a device displaying a pixelated video game battle against a large monster. The game screen dramatically displays "Game Over," shocking the player into a startled exclamation. The man peers through a wooden lattice, questioning a strange pattern and sensing something abnormal beyond. He continues to stare, visibly confused by the sight of someone through the wooden barrier. The man recognizes the figure as Yoo Baekjun, bewilderedly wondering if he has become a monster. He speaks through the lattice, requesting Choi Seungmin, but the other person seems confused. The man emphatically demands that Choi Seungmin be brought to him, gesturing from behind the lattice. Yoo Baekjun stumbles, injured and panicked, running through a snowy path, leaving drops of blood behind. Yoo Baekjun's eyes widen in terror, reflecting a brilliant light in the surrounding darkness. A close-up shows Yoo Baekjun's horrified eye, illuminated by an intense blue glow. Patches of blood stain the pristine white snow, indicating a violent and perilous encounter. A traditional Korean building stands under a clear sky, as someone inside voices concern about a sleeping person. A bookshelf filled with scrolls and books as a voice states someone has been asleep for 4 days. An elder patiently explains that the sleeping person is not injured, advising to wait a bit longer. Physician Joo Jungwon of the Sword Saint clan stands with his arms crossed, appearing thoughtful. Choi Sungmin, a young servant of the Sword Saint clan, questions why the person remains unconscious without injury. Yoo Baekjun lies in bed, seemingly uninjured but looking unwell, as two men discuss his mysterious condition. Yoo Baekjun's eyes snap wide open in terror, suggesting he is caught in a horrifying nightmare. Yoo Baekjun suddenly cries out and sits up in bed, startling the two men beside him. Yoo Baekjun pants, gasping for breath, his face etched with distress after waking from the ordeal. Choi Sungmin and physician Joo Jungwon express their overwhelming relief and joy at Yoo Baekjun's awakening. Yoo Baekjun sits up in bed, looking around with a confused and questioning expression. Yoo Baekjun stares in bewilderment, questioning if his experience was a, quote, dream within a dream. Choi Sungmin looks on with a curious and questioning expression. Yoo Baekjun's eyes widen, a sudden realization dawning on him with shock. Yoo Baekjun's hands instinctively reach out and grip wooden bars, confirming his confined state. A person leans out a window of a traditional building, shouting commands to unseen individuals below. A group of martial artists train outdoors, responding to a shout for increased speed and sharpness. Two men discuss their next mission to clear a B-rank gate located in the western region. From a window, a person observes as another discusses handling a gate before it expands into the mountains. Yoo Baekjun looks around a traditional room, clearly disoriented and asking where he is. Physician Joo Jungwon informs Yoo Baekjun that he is currently within the Sword Saint clan. A grand exterior view of the majestic Sword Saint clan buildings, revealing it to be Yoo Baekjun's home. Yoo Baekjun stares in bewildered confusion, questioning the reality of his situation. Yoo Baekjun bows his head, accepting that his experience was real, as physician Jo Jungwon observes his disorientation. Yoo Baekjun admits to a slight headache, a lingering effect from his ordeal as he regains his senses. Physician Joo Jungwon prepares to fetch medicine, while Choi Sungmin eagerly volunteers to get food for Yoo Baekjun. Physician Joo Jungwon halts Choi Sungmin, inquiring if Yoo Baekjun requires anything else before they depart. Yoo Baekjun inquires about the current date, learning from Choi Sungmin that he was unconscious for 4 days. Yoo Baekjun's eyes widen in shock upon realizing the current date is January 15, 2035, displaying a system notification. Choi Sungmin rushes off to prepare food, leaving Yoo Bae to contemplate his new reality in the quiet room. Yoo Baekjun smirks knowingly, a new understanding dawning on him as he looks at the mysterious system window. A glowing system notification confirms a quest completion and points gained, solidifying the reality for Yoo Baekjun. Yoo Baekjun exhales in relief, confirming to himself that he has safely returned home from his journey. The grand architecture of the Sword Saint clan stands majestically against a backdrop of snow-capped mountains and clear sky. Yoo Baekjun sits at a table with Choi Sungmin, deeply engrossed in thought while observing the meal. A close-up shows a hand cutting a piece of steak, symbolizing Yoo Baekjun pondering his critical next steps. Yoo Baekjun muses while eating that his clan home is not necessarily safer than the perilous snowy plains. Yoo Baekjun reflects on the Sword Saint clan's annex being a central point for many internal power struggles. Yoo Baekjun continues eating, observing that powerful clan children inevitably fight for control of their inheritance. Dark, shadowy figures represent the other children of the clan: Yoo Taerang, Yoo Jungyin, Yoo Kangho, and Yoo Min. A simplified image of Yoo Baekjun eating is shown as the narration identifies him as the youngest child. Yoo Baekjun recalls the tragic past where Yoo Taerang brutally killed 3 other siblings in a power struggle. Yoo Baekjun contemplates Yoo Taerang's inevitable succession as clan head, a fact known to all the other children. Yoo Baekjun analyzes his siblings. Kangho allied with Taerang, Jungyeon gave up, and Min showed no interest. Yoo Baekjun questions the true motive behind Yoo Taerang's ruthless elimination of his younger siblings. A dark, abstract panel highlights the chilling and inexplicable nature of the brothers' actions. A horrific memory of a blade piercing flesh, with blood splattering, depicts the brutal reality of the clan's succession. A shadowy figure declares an end to all future disputes, underscoring a ruthless desire for absolute control. A silhouette of a dominant figure stands over fallen bodies, proclaiming the definitive end of the succession dispute. Stark text on a black background expresses disbelief at someone actually committing such heinous acts. Yoo Baekjun comprehends that Yoo Tae-rang aims to eliminate any potential opposition to his power. Yoo Baekjun chews thoughtfully, realizing that Yoo Tae-rang's ultimate goal is absolute power within the clan. Yoo Baekjun takes another bite, remarking on the good taste of his meal amidst his deep reflections. Yoo Baekjun identifies Yoo Tae-rang, the eldest son, as the primary antagonist of his destined path. Yoo Baekjun learns the current date aligns with the game, and his father will pass on the clan head position in 2 years. Yoo Baekjun's expression darkens with resolve, realizing he must defeat Yoo Tae-rang within 2 years or face death. Yoo Baekjun mutters about having only 2 years, leaving Choi Seungmin confused by his sudden declaration. A thought bubble emphasizes the strict 2-year deadline, after which Yoo Tae-rang's power will become absolute. Choi Seungmin offers to clean the dishes, and Yoo Baekjun politely thanks him for the meal. Yoo Tae-rang is away for 2 months, handling a gate in the Seorak mountain. Yoo Baekjun prepares to leave, holding the treasure keeper's pouch, despite Choi Seungmin's concern about his recovery. A close-up shows Yoo Baekjun's slippered foot stepping purposefully, symbolizing his immediate action. Yoo Baekjun walks with determination, declaring his intent to gain strength for clan recognition. Yoo Baekjun steps forward, expressing gratitude for the abundance of resources available within the Sword Saint clan. Yoo Baekjun stands before a large door, preparing to enter the medicine room. A close-up shot focuses on the medicine room sign, indicating Yoo Baekjun's destination. Yoo Baekjun looks up with renewed determination, acknowledging the many skilled teachers in the clan. Yoo Baekjun firmly grasps a door handle, signifying his resolve to begin his training immediately. Hands skillfully grind various ingredients in a mortar and pestle, preparing a powerful concoction. A person from behind is diligently preparing ingredients at a traditional wooden workbench. Physician Ju Jung-won looks inquisitively at Yoo Baekjun, remarking on his presence on the 2nd floor. Yoo Baekjun, holding the treasure keeper's pouch, apologizes to physician Yoo Jung-won for entering without permission. His clear purpose is revealed, to become the physician's disciple. The young master explains his presence on the 2nd floor, having sought the elder due to lack of response. The young master, with a determined smile, politely asks permission to observe the elder's work. Pharmacist Ju Jung-won looks surprised, questioning the young master's desire to observe him. The young master clarifies his request, stating his curiosity about his current state. Pharmacist Ju Jung-won gazes intently at the young master, his expression one of slight confusion. A narrative panel introduces Pharmacist Ju Jung-won, a skilled clan physician with special healing abilities. The narrative continues, explaining that Pharmacist Ju Jung-won's sole focus on medicine leaves him without a disciple. Pharmacist Ju Jung-won smiles, expressing his lifelong desire to share his accumulated medicinal knowledge with the clan. Despite his efforts, the clan's people remain uninterested in pharmaceutics, preferring to simply buy medicine. The young master silently ponders, observing Pharmacist Ju Jung-won as he continues his work. The young master realizes an elixir could greatly enhance his strength, fueling his determination. The young master concludes he needs Pharmacist Ju Jung-won's formulation skills, while the pharmacist apologizes for his aging slowness. Pharmacist Ju Jung-won apologizes for his slower pace due to age, but the young master dismisses it. Pharmacist Ju Jung-won probes the young master's interest in pharmaceutics, which the young master eagerly confirms. Pharmacist Ju Jung-won is taken aback by the young master's unexpected interest in pharmaceutics. The young master reveals his self-study of medicine through books, as Pharmacist Ju Jung-won detects a subtle scent. The young master confidently identifies the specific herbs and medicinal effects of the concoction, aiming to become a disciple. Pharmacist Ju Jung-won stares in disbelief, amazed that the young master identified the medicine by scent alone. The young master explains his unique learning method of consuming herbs and senses, a peculiar additional scent. Pharmacist Zhu Jungwan confirms the young master's observation, revealing the hidden, transforming property of the added ingredient. Pharmacist Zhu Jungwan is overwhelmed with emotion, realizing the young master's profound talent for healing. A powerful revelation proclaims the young master's true talent lies in saving people, not martial arts. The long-haired individual makes a resolute declaration, standing in a radiant glow focused on the purpose of saving people. A man gazes downward with a troubled expression, lamenting a person's undesirable Sword Saint clan heritage. In a traditional room, the standing character questions how their injuries occurred, receiving a response about a monster attack. The long-haired character realizes with a smirk that their true enemy and assassination attempt remain unknown. The long-haired character acknowledges the vital utility of medicine after the recent incident, discussing its helpfulness. The seated man reflects on his inability to properly learn medicine, resolving to study the art further. The elder, with a kind smile, offers to teach his knowledge to the long-haired character. The long-haired character reacts with surprise, confirming the offer to learn from pharmacist Zhu Jungwan. The long-haired character expresses concern about the pharmacist's busy schedule, but he reassures them. Yoo Baekjun is touched by the pharmacist's deep commitment to teaching him, despite his busy life. Yoo Baekjun gratefully accepts the pharmacist's teaching offer, acknowledging the profound honor. The pharmacist presents the finished medicine, instructing Yoo Baekjun to ingest it for his recovery. A serene vista unfolds, showcasing traditional architecture nestled amidst grand, sunlit mountains. A system quest appears, urging the player to become pharmacist Zhu Zhongwan's disciple by mastering medicine. Yoo Baekjun sits, contemplating the new quest to pass the pharmacist's test and master Oriental medicine. Yoo Baekjun reflects on pharmacist Zhu Zhongwan's trustworthy nature, contrasting him with Shin Woo-hyun and thinking of his loyal servant. Yoo Baekjun contemplates Choi Sung-min's unwavering loyalty stemming from a past family illness and his lack of martial talent. Yoo Baekjun confidently acknowledges Choi Sung-min's unwavering loyalty, deeming his support sufficient. Yoo Baekjun looks deeply pensive, contemplating his next necessary actions amidst a shimmering glow. A new quest challenges the protagonist to run for 5 hours to escape his anchovyism for stat rewards. Yoo Baekjun sits, distressed, anticipating the arduous suffering ahead from his new physical training quest. Choi Sung-min reacts with utter shock and disbelief upon hearing about his master's sudden decision to exercise. Yoo Baekjun confirms his intent to exercise, leaving a bewildered Choi Sung-min holding clothes and questioning the anchovy master. Choi Sung-min, still confused, questions the sudden, unexpected decision to begin vigorous exercise. Choi Sung-min's face twists into deep confusion, completely baffled by the situation unfolding before him. A furious man's face, contorted in rage, condemns someone as weak and utterly incompetent. A small figure kneels condemned, surrounded by looming silhouettes, as a dominant figure disowns them with a harsh "get out." The Sword Saint clan is depicted as a brutal kingdom where power rules, with the strong preying upon the weak. A flashback portrays young Yoo Baekjun as a kind, untalented boy, ignored by the clan, sparking dismissive comments from others. Clan members openly mock Yoo Baekjun's perceived weakness and physical appearance, deeming him worthy of abandonment. A clan member expresses indifference towards Yoo Baekjun, remarking he should have just lived a quiet life of study. A close-up on modern athletic shoes underscores the new, unexpected activities now occurring within the Sword Saint clan. Yoo Baekjun confidently stretches, signaling his resolve to change his circumstances and embark on a new path. Yoo Baekjun practices a technique with his feet, hinting at his hidden knowledge and impending martial arts development. Yoo Baekjun reflects on his physical limitations, unsure if his body can match the martial art technique he comprehends. Yoo Baekjun activates the Qigong technique, exhibiting surprising agility and speed as he begins his run. Yoo Baekjun grins, ecstatic at the successful activation of a technique he sensed previously at the martial god's grave. Yoo Baekjun sprints using his new skill, appreciating the convenience of its on-demand activation. Yoo Baekjun grins fiercely, realizing that his demanding training quest is more achievable than he anticipated. Yoo Baekjun's face contorts in extreme exhaustion, drenched in sweat from his intense physical exertion. Yoo Baekjun struggles through his run, lamenting the grueling difficulty and questioning his very physical limits. A weary Yoo Baekjun looks up, startled by an unexpected system notification chime. The quest window confirms completion of the anchovyism quest, rewarding Yoo Baekjun with points and increased strength. Yoo Baekjun collapses onto the ground, utterly exhausted, expressing relief that the grueling exercise is over. Still weary, Yoo Baekjun reflects on the immense difficulty of the physical training he just completed. Despite his exhaustion, Yoo Baekjun's expression shifts, leading to an important internal reflection. Yoo Baekjun examines his status window, feeling relieved by the unexpectedly good results from his strenuous 6-hour workout. Yoo Baekjun marvels at his heavenly martial physique's performance, then grimaces at a mysterious, foul odor. Yoo Baekjun recoils from a terrible smell as Yoo Kang-ho, a smiling male clan member, appears, also commenting on it. Yoo Kang-ho, a Sword Saint clan member, mockingly identifies Yoo Baekjun's sweat as the source of the terrible smell. Yoo Baekjun's face darkens with annoyance, questioning Yoo Kang-ho's sudden and unwelcome presence. Yoo Kang-ho and other clan members confront Yoo Baekjun, criticizing his sweat and demanding to know his activities. Yoo Baekjun, despite his exhaustion, offers a strained smile and tells his brother, Yoo Kang-ho, he has been exercising. Yoo Kang-ho smugly remarks that he hasn't seen Yoo Baekjun due to his reclusive habits. Yoo Kang-ho questions Yoo Baekjun's sudden exercise, while Baekjun internally finds his brother's attitude irritating. Yoo Baekjun laughs in agreement as the narration sarcastically labels Yoo Kang-ho as the clan's notorious ass. Narration details Yoo Kang-ho's wildlife, while Yoo Baekjun explains his training as a response to a fabricated monster attack. Yoo Kang-ho and his companions mock Yoo Baekjun's training efforts with dismissive laughter and questions. Yoo Kang-ho dismisses Yoo Baekjun's training as pointless, yet condescendingly offers his help. Yoo Baekjun is violently struck directly in the face, recoiling from the sudden, forceful impact. Yoo Baekjun collapses to the ground, reeling from the powerful, unseen blow that sent him flying. Yoo Kang-ho grins sinisterly, stating he can kindly help, revealing the menacing intent behind his words. Yoo Kang-ho and his group walk away, with Kang-ho callously reminding Yoo Baekjun of past torments. Yoo Baekjun's leg trembles violently, a clear sign of his physical pain and suppressed fury from the assault. On his knees, Yoo Baekjun expresses his intense pain and fury towards his assailant. A bruised and bleeding Yoo Baekjun glares with intense fury, declaring his assailant dead to me. Yoo Baekjun sits, frustrated by his current weakness, acknowledging it's not yet time for him to retaliate. Yoo Baekjun covers his pained face in resignation, accepting that he must endure for now. Yoo Baekjun stands before a quest window, his resolve hardened to become significantly stronger. A new quest window demands 3 hours of strength training to continue escaping his former weakness. Yoo Baekjun stands on the training grounds, preparing to embark on the next phase of strength training. The scene transitions to a peaceful, traditional building nestled within the clan's mountainous grounds. A mystical, glowing ancient book is prominently featured, hinting at profound knowledge within. Yoo Baekjun sits cross-legged, deeply focused on studying the illuminated ancient book before him. The glowing book displays details for a new skill called Strike, including its cost and function. The book showcases 2 basic martial arts techniques, Tri-Mind and Tri-Fist, each costing 50 points. Yoo Baekjun calculates his earned points, including those from the martial god's grave and his completed quest. Yoo Baekjun confidently calculates his points, anticipating acquiring a new skill by tomorrow. A text bubble reveals the forthcoming skill belongs to Yoon Songa, a Ranker-class hunter. A shadowy figure, Yoon Songa, dramatically manifests an attribute, channeling fiery energy through his sword. The skill window describes attribute manifestation as a powerful A-ranked technique, requiring immense mana to use. Yoo Baekjun deeply ponders the transformative power of the 1,000-year snow ginseng. Yoo Baekjun sits in his room, contemplating the Tri-Fist and Tri-Mind techniques he previously learned. The skill window displays Tri-Fist, Tri-Mind, and Strike, which Baekjun dismisses as inferior martial arts. Yoo Baekjun reveals his strategic decision to learn low-ranked martial arts for a specific future purpose. A text bubble announces that Yoo Baekjun's reason for learning the skills is an upcoming event. Yoo Baekjun gazes knowingly forward, a subtle smile on his face, holding a book. Narration highlights Yoo Baekjun's strenuous efforts to escape anchovyism as he runs determinedly. A hand holds tilting grass, identified as a paralyzing poison, but also a potential energy source. Yoo Baekjun explains to the elder that tilting grass can provide energy if properly prepared. Yoo Baekjun smiles, continuing to elaborate on the beneficial properties of the seemingly dangerous herb. The elder's face sparkles with delighted surprise, impressed by Yoo Baekjun's unexpected medicinal knowledge. A radiant glow surrounds Yoo Baekjun and the elder, emphasizing the elder's profound admiration for Baekjun. Montage depicts Yoo Baekjun passing a medicinal test, considering a skill, and continuing rigorous physical training. A skill window notifies the acquisition of Oriental medicine formulation, enhancing medicine creation. Yoo Baekjun smiles subtly, satisfied with his newfound expertise in Oriental medicine. The elder praises Yoo Baekjun as a remarkably talented pharmacist, exceeding most in skill. Yoo Baekjun listens intently to the elder, an anatomical chart on the wall hinting at his medical studies. Yoo Baekjun internally confirms that only he can see the skill window, like a game interface. Yoo Baekjun humbly credits the elder's teachings, deflecting praise while preparing his next request. Yoo Baekjun asks the elder for assistance in concocting a very specific and important medicine. The elder looks intrigued and slightly amused, wondering what difficult medicine Yoo Baekjun intends to create. The elder's eye widens dramatically as he recognizes the incredible rarity of the displayed ingredient. A 1,000-year snow ginseng, radiating an aura of ancient power, rests on a piece of paper. 3 more potent herbs, sun herb, fire spirit herb, and fire ginseng, are also displayed, further shocking the elder. The elder, astonished, speculates if these rare herbs were the true reason for Yoo Baekjun's supposed monster attack. Yoo Baekjun smiles, confirming the elder's accurate deduction about the herbs and the fabricated monster attack. The elder expresses understanding, acknowledging that anyone would hide such a valuable 1,000-year snow ginseng. The elder confirms the immense energy within the 1,000-year snow ginseng, a substance he has never encountered. Yoo Baekjun reveals his ambitious plan to create a pill that maximizes yang energy, overpowering the ginseng's yin. The elder looks utterly horrified, realizing the perilous and extreme nature of Yoo Baekjun's formulation. Yoo Baekjun confidently declares his intention to consume the powerful 1,000-year snow ginseng himself. The elder connects Yoo Baekjun's recent intense training to his ultimate goal of preparing to consume the formidable ginseng. The elder, now comprehending, agrees to help Yoo Baekjun formulate the potent medicine immediately. A status window announces the activation of the Oriental medicine formulation skill. A status window confirms that the elder's superior skill has enhanced the effects of Yoo Baekjun's medicine formulation. A full moon illuminates the traditional building, signifying the passage of time as the medicine is crafted. A status window triumphantly announces the successful creation of the Extreme Yang Pill. The Extreme Yang Pill, a vibrant golden disc, is described as possessing strong yang energy. The glowing Extreme Yang Pill emanates powerful energy, ready for its critical purpose. Yoo Baekjun sits cross-legged, surrounded by glowing energy, preparing to ingest the formidable pill. Yoo Baekjun prepares to consume the pill, while the elder watches over him with a thoughtful expression. The Extreme Yang Pill glows next to a ghostly fish, representing rewards obtained from the martial god's grave. Yoo Baekjun and the elder discuss the risks, with the elder promising to intervene if the process becomes dangerous. Yoo Baekjun stares with apprehension, nervously gulping before taking the potent pill. Yoo Baekjun carefully picks up the intensely glowing Extreme Yang Pill. Yoo Baekjun brings the luminous Extreme Yang Pill to his mouth, its power already radiating. Fiery energy courses through Yoo Baekjun's chest as the potent extreme yang pill begins its overwhelming work. The elder watches with deep concern, his face reflecting the intensity of Yoo Baekjun's struggle. Yoo Baekjun levitates, enveloped in a blazing red aura, as the elder observes his critical transformation. Yoo Baekjun's eyes glow red, his face contorted in agony as he endures the searing internal heat. Waves of intense heat overwhelm Yoo Baekjun, who resolves to endure the unbearable fiery energy. Yoo Baekjun sits, enduring the intense yang energy, which has yet to fully circulate throughout his body. Golden energy swirls, signaling the slow but powerful circulation of the yang energy within Yoo Baekjun. A sudden, sharp realization, or pain, causes Yoo Baekjun's eye to widen in intense surprise. Yoo Baekjun quickly bites down on something small, initiating a critical next step in his process. Yoo Baekjun's face shifts, now glowing with a cool blue energy, showing a struggle against a chilling force. The fiery energy is replaced by crackling blue aura, indicating a dramatic shift in the energy's nature. Yoo Baekjun cries out in agony as freezing yin energy permeates his meridians, demanding calm channeling. The elder cries out, alarmed, as Yoo Baekjun's condition suddenly worsens with the freezing energy. Yoo Baekjun levitates amidst swirling blue energy, his struggle evident as the elder watches in growing panic. The elder's face fills with desperate concern, contemplating calling for outside assistance. Yoo Baekjun's hand clenches, a surge of blue energy, suggesting he's trying to regain control. The elder's worried gaze focuses on Yoo Baekjun's struggling form, engulfed in the cold blue aura. Yoo Baekjun, now stable in his levitation, wonders if he is performing a cultivation technique. The elder observes Yoo Baekjun, questioning if the technique is different from those used by the Sword Saint clan. Yoo Baekjun calmly performs the Tri-Mind technique, learning to utilize mana despite its humble nature. Whispers of soft blue energy indicate a peaceful progression of Yoo Baekjun's cultivation. Yoo Baekjun floats serenely, now deeply absorbed in his meditation amidst calming blue energy. A subtle, satisfied smile plays on Yoo Baekjun's lips, indicating his successful control over the energy. The elder stares in utter disbelief, unable to comprehend Yoo Baekjun's incredible progress. Yoo Baekjun confirms that the powerful energy is now circulating perfectly within him. The elder expresses profound astonishment at Yoo Baekjun's ability to survive the ginseng and perform cultivation. Yoo Baekjun sits in serene meditation, his eyes closed, fully integrated with the circulating energy. Yoo Baekjun's eye glows with focused blue energy, revealing the depth of his newly acquired power. A full moon illuminates the night sky, symbolizing the passage of time and the completion of a major feat. Yoo Baekjun walks alone under the tranquil moonlight, his powerful transformation complete. The elder, still amazed, asks Yoo Baekjun about the surprising origin of his cultivation technique. Yoo Baekjun smiles awkwardly, casually claiming he merely copied what he had witnessed someone else doing. Yoo Baekjun gives a sly smirk, seemingly confident that he has successfully concealed the truth. Yoo Baekjun inwardly notes his successful deception, while also considering the elder's overestimation of his skills. Yoo Baekjun confidently strolls, having found the ideal location for his next strategic move. Yoo Baekjun summons his status window, preparing to assess his enhanced abilities. Yoo Baekjun's status window reveals dramatically increased stats and powerful elixir-induced buffs. Yoo Baekjun smiles, satisfied with his elevated magic power and the significant stat boosts from the elixirs. With a determined gaze, Yoo Baekjun clenches his fist, ready to unleash his newly acquired powers. Swirling blue energy fills the space, foreshadowing the manifestation of a powerful skill. Yoo Baekjun manifests the attribute manifestation skill, generating a powerful blue aura around himself. Yoon Songha appears dramatically, hinting at a significant connection. Yoon Songha is a key character from the Hero's Road story. Yoon Songha, a shadowy figure, stands powerfully atop a dragon, her dragon's heart ability revealed. Yoo Baekjun unleashes a devastating blue energy attack, shattering the ground with immense force. A powerful blow from Yoo Baekjun's fist sends a shockwave of blue energy through the ground. Yoo Baekjun strikes the ground, emanating a chilling blue aura that crystallizes his surroundings. Shards of ice sparkle and scatter, showcasing the potent, chilling effect of Yoo Baekjun's attack. Yoo Baekjun gazes forward with a calm, knowing expression, confirming his expectations. Yoo Baekjun's glowing fist crackles with blue energy, confirming the formidable power of his A-rank skill. A sudden realization dawns on Yoo Baekjun, hinting at an unexpected drawback to his new power. Yoo Baekjun gasps in discomfort, clearly affected by the lingering aftermath of his powerful skill. Yoo Baekjun collapses, exhausted, lamenting the immense mana drain required to unleash his formidable skill. Yoo Baekjun acknowledges his skill's heavy mana cost, realizing it was originally designed for Yoon Songa's overflowing power. Yoo Baekjun realizes the 1,000-year snow ginseng was crucial for his survival and enabled him to even attempt using the skill. Under the night sky, Yoo Baekjun quietly muses on the name Yoon Songa, a figure of growing intrigue. Yoo Baekjun speculates about Yoon Songa's whereabouts, anticipating a future encounter with the powerful individual. Yoo Baekjun smiles subtly, looking forward to the intriguing prospect of eventually meeting Yoon Songa. With his preparations complete, Yoo Baekjun sets his sights on the looming first main event. A new day dawns over the tranquil, traditional architecture of the clan's stronghold. A servant brings breakfast, noting Yoo Baekjun's unusually early risings with a weary but respectful smile. The diligent servant inquires if the clan has any special activities planned for the morning. The servant explains that clan members traditionally observe training sessions every Sunday morning. The servant recounts Yoo Baekjun's past aversion to observation, only for Yoo Baekjun to announce his surprising attendance this time. The servant drops a plate in shock, utterly dumbfounded by Yoo Baekjun's unexpected decision. Yoo Baekjun gives a knowing smirk, asserting his duty to actively participate in clan matters. The servant recalls Yoo Baekjun's past horror and the clan master's subsequent rage, urging caution. Yoo Baekjun dismisses the servant's concerns, focused only on the short time remaining before the event. Yoo Baekjun instructs the still-shocked servant to declare his participation, receiving a hesitant affirmation. Determined footsteps echo, marking the journey to his next strategic move. Yoo Baekjun and the servant walk together, heading towards the training grounds. Other clan members express surprise and confusion upon seeing Yoo Baekjun approaching the morning training. Yoo Baekjun's indifferent expression masks his thoughts as others dismiss his presence. The Sword Saint clan's ancient custom of observed morning group training is revealed. While combat instructors observe, Yoo Baekjun silently disparages the clan's traditional training observation as useless. A decisive footstep marks Yoo Baekjun's arrival at the designated area. Yoo Baekjun observes the crowd, his gaze narrowing as he prepares to single out an individual. Yoo Baekjun stands before the solemn observation chairs, an air of anticipation filling the space. Yoo Muhak, the formidable head of the Sword Saint clan, sits imperiously on his throne. Yoo Baekjun stands respectfully before the esteemed seating arrangements. Yoo Baekjun inwardly acknowledges the immense oppressive aura emanating from the powerful figures present. Master Yoo Muhak sits powerfully on his throne, his presence dominating the space. The seasoned master combat instructors, a diverse group, are introduced, standing as formidable presences. Yoo Baekjun's attention is captured as someone calls out his name from the side. A woman seated nearby expresses genuine concern about Yoo Baekjun's recent monster attack. Yoo Jongyeon, the Sword Saint clan's eldest daughter, is introduced, radiating a calm, observant presence. Yoo Baekjun smiles, thanking his elder sister and crediting physician Chu Jungwon for his recovery. A male observer, seated, contemptuously dismisses Yoo Baekjun as a loser. The male observer scolds Yoo Baekjun, accusing him of bringing shame to the family with his perceived weakness. Yoo Baekjun stifles his rising irritation, trying to calm himself with positive thoughts amidst the insults. The panel introduces Yoo Min, the fourth daughter, observing the scene alongside the other clan members. Yoo Min, the fourth daughter of the Sword Saint clan, is introduced with a thoughtful, observant gaze. The male character continues his scathing mockery, ridiculing Yoo Baekjun's visits to the medicine room and his perceived lack of swordsmanship talent. Yoo Baekjun clenches his fist in frustration, deciding to abandon his restraint and accelerate to the main event. The male character insults Yoo Baekjun further, menacingly offering to teach him proper swordsmanship. With a chilling glare, Yoo Baekjun coldly commands his old brother to cease speaking. Yoo-min observes the unfolding confrontation with a calm, discerning gaze. Yoo Baekjun stands over Yoo Jonghyun, his fists clenched, ready to address the ongoing insults. The male character reacts with stunned disbelief, utterly shocked by Yoo Baekjun's sudden defiance. Yoo Baekjun strikes back with a personal jab, taunting the male character about his foul breath. Yoo Kang-ho reacts with stunned disbelief to Yoo Baekjun's sudden, sharp retort. A foot taps impatiently on the ground, emphasizing the building tension in the moment. Yoo Baekjun delivers another cutting insult, advising his elder brother on personal hygiene. Yoo-min covers her mouth in surprise as Yoo Baekjun confidently steps away from the confrontation. Yoo Kang-ho clenches his jaw, visibly shaking with intense frustration and suppressed anger. A furious Yoo Kang-ho curses Yoo Baekjun, threatening him for his audacious defiance. A dynamic shot focuses on a person lowering their stance, indicating an impending action. Yoo Kang-ho stares in utter confusion, processing Yoo Baekjun's unexpected behavior. Yoo Baekjun kneels respectfully before Master Yoo Moo-hak, formally making a crucial request. Yoo Baekjun, with a serious expression, declares his intent to learn martial arts for his critical first quest. The master commands the start of training, as a powerful heaven-surging sword technique is mentioned. Yoo Jonghyun sits calmly, observing the training grounds with a watchful and thoughtful gaze. Two older male combat instructors stand by, observing the scene with a serious professional demeanor. Master Yoo Moo-hak observes the ongoing events with a stoic and contemplative expression. Yoo Baekjun looks out at the training grounds with a calm, focused gaze. Master Yoo Moo-hak questions Yoo Baekjun's presence, noting his past disinterest in martial arts. Yoo Baekjun responds with a polite smile, explaining his newfound interest in martial arts. Master Yoo Moo-hak questions Yoo Baekjun's sudden change of heart, given his former stance on learning to kill. Yoo Baekjun explains his change, stating that a near-death experience prompted him to learn martial arts for survival. Clan members train vigorously as Yoo Baekjun reflects on abandoning his past foolish thoughts. Master Yoo Moo-hak's eye narrows slightly, prompting Yoo Baekjun to clarify his intentions. Yoo Baekjun, with firm resolve, requests to study martial arts under one of the 4 master combat instructors. 2 master combat instructors react with visible shock and speechless surprise to Yoo Baekjun's request. Yoo Kang-ho vehemently ridicules Yoo Baekjun's request, calling it absurd and completely laughable. Yoo Kang-ho asserts that Yoo Baekjun's lack of talent makes teaching him a waste of a master's time. Master Yoo Moo-hak listens with a stoic expression, considering the arguments about Yoo Baekjun's abilities. Yoo Baekjun confidently challenges their perception, questioning if he actually possesses talent, surprising Master Yoo Moo-hak. Yoo Baekjun smiles subtly, revealing he anticipated their negative reactions to his request. Yoo Baekjun confidently declares his intent to prove his talent, sufficient for a master combat instructor. Yoo-min watches, curiously asking how Yoo Baekjun intends to prove his bold claims. Yoo Baekjun dramatically turns, signaling the commencement of the first main event. Yoo Baekjun looks ahead, declaring that a decisive spar will take place in exactly 1 week. Yoo Baekjun, with his back to the viewer, confidently states he will defeat brother Yoo Kang-ho in a spar. Yoo Kang-ho stares in utter shock and disbelief at Yoo Baekjun's audacious challenge. Yoo-min chuckles lightly, observing the escalating drama with amusement. Yoo Kang-ho, deeply insulted, expresses disbelief that an untrained brat would challenge him. Yoo Baekjun turns to Master Yoo Moo-hak, seeking his permission to proceed with the challenge. A close-up on a face, subtly indicating a quiet agreement or acceptance from the speaker. Master Yoo Moo-hak agrees to the challenge, but sternly warns Yoo Baekjun it is his last chance. Master Yoo Moo-hak warns Yoo Baekjun that failure in the challenge will result in his expulsion from the clan. Yoo Baekjun looks at Master Yoo Moo-hak, his expression calm and determined, accepting the terms. A bright, expansive view of the clan buildings, indicating a shift in focus and the passage of time. Yoo Baekjun stands tall, casting a large shadow, emphasizing his determined and imposing presence. Yoo Baekjun's expression is serious as he acknowledges the crucial, limited time he possesses. Yoo Baekjun touches a training dummy, realizing defeating Yoo Kang-ho grants him access to master instruction. Yoo Baekjun reflects on the free skill reward for the event as a magical aura surrounds him. A mana scarecrow is introduced, capable of limited movement and attack when infused with mana. A close-up on Yoo Baekjun's subtle, confident smile, hinting at his hidden plans. Yoo Baekjun addresses Yoo Kang-ho, confidently proclaiming his imminent defeat. Two clan members observe, expressing disbelief that the weakling Yoo Baekjun is training. Two clan members gossip, anticipating an embarrassing spectacle from Yoo Baekjun's next training session with Yoo Kang-ho. Observing the scene, clan members cynically predict Yoo Baekjun's quick failure, expressing low expectations for his endurance. An informative panel introduces the tri-fist technique, a basic martial art comprising simple combat, punching, and elbow strikes. Yoo Baekjun diligently practices a fist technique outdoors, a dynamic sound effect emphasizing his committed training. An informational panel describes the Qinggong technique and strike, explaining how to infuse attacks with mana. Yoo Baekjun moves with speed, leaving a shattered mana scarecrow behind, showcasing his destructive training. A clan member observes Yoo Baekjun, who continues to rigorously train, repeatedly striking the mana scarecrow. Yoo Zhongyan watches the ongoing training with a calm, watchful gaze, her thoughts unreadable. Yoo Baekjun relentlessly strikes and breaks a mana scarecrow, reflecting on 3 days of continuous, intense training. The mana scarecrow is powerfully launched backward from Yoo Baekjun's strike, signifying his impactful training. Yoo Baekjun, sweating profusely and breathing heavily, maintains an intense focus during his grueling training. Another clan member watches Yoo Baekjun's persistent training as he repeatedly strikes the mana scarecrow. Yoo Zhongyan listens as an observer dismisses Yoo Baekjun's training as unremarkable. An observer comments on Yoo Baekjun's seemingly simple training, using basic Qinggong and tri-fist techniques on dummies. Yoo Zhongyan looks thoughtful, beginning to question the deeper purpose behind Yoo Baekjun's unusual training methods. An observer marvels at Yoo Baekjun's extraordinary stamina and strangely experienced posture despite prolonged, intense training. Yoo Baekjun prepares to strike, as an unseen voice questions his exclusive focus on the unconventional fist technique. Yoo Zhongyan ponders the unfolding events, her expression deep in thought. Grandmaster Lee Kunmo questions Yoo Zhongyan, who dismisses her thoughts, attempting to hide her true observations. Grandmaster Lee Kunmo inquires about a past matter with Yoo Zhongyan, who politely but firmly reaffirms her stance. Grandmaster Lee Kunmo suggests supporting Yoo Taerong, but Yoo Zhongyan respectfully takes her leave, maintaining her neutrality. Yoo Zhongyan gazes into the distance, her expression pensive, reflecting on the recent conversation and training. Night falls over the clan buildings, indicating the passage of time and the continuation of events. Yoo Baekjun is visibly exhausted, sweating profusely and breathing heavily from his intense nighttime training. Yoo Baekjun turns, his face showing fatigue, but also a clear, unwavering determination to continue. Numerous mana scarecrows lie utterly destroyed across the training grounds, testament to Yoo Baekjun's relentless power. Yoo Baekjun grins, satisfied with his progress, acknowledging his complete devastation of the training dummies. Yoo Baekjun rests, pleased his training aligns with his game knowledge, crediting his endurance to the 1,000-year snow ginseng. Yoo Baekjun is abruptly interrupted mid-thought by a voice calling his name, causing him to look up in surprise. Yoo Baekjun recognizes Yoo Zhongyan's voice as she expresses concern for his well-being during his intense training. A detailed chart illustrates the rigid class system of the Sword Saint clan, from patriarch to master. The clan hierarchy chart continues, explicitly showing the trainee as the lowest rank within the system. The Grand Masters and Masters of the clan are depicted, with text explaining their power to support favored successors. A dynamic visual portrays various clan factions, symbolizing the internal political struggles for support and power. Yoo Jong-jian observes Yoo Baekjun, as text explains her unique position as a neutral master, unlike others interested only in swordsmanship. Yoo Baekjun's eyes gleam with anticipation and resolve as he internally declares, "Finally!" Yoo Jong-jian passes a folded paper to Yoo Baekjun, who questions her intention behind the mysterious exchange. Yoo Jong-yeon informs Yoo Baekjun about Yoo Kang-ho's extensive training under the clan's grandmasters. Yoo Baekjun reacts with frustration, sarcastically questioning the relevance of Yoo Kang-ho's superior training. Wiping sweat, Yoo Baekjun cynically expresses his belief that fighting Yoo Kang-ho will only lead to an inevitable beating. Yoo Jong-yeon, attempting to reassure him, admits she would likely share his pessimistic outlook if in his position. Yoo Baekjun stands, confidently asserting that his challenge to fight was not arbitrary, but rooted in a strategic plan. Yoo Jong-yeon looks surprised, questioning if Yoo Baekjun's secret strategy involves the unconventional fist technique. A close-up on Yoo Baekjun's eyes highlights their intense, focused gaze, filled with deep concentration. A narrative bubble emphasizes the profound curiosity emanating from Yoo Baekjun's eyes. An abstract background poses a lingering question about the true nature and depth of Yoo Baekjun's curiosity. Yoo Jong-yeon is described as unique within the clan, having interests beyond the traditional swordsmanship of other members. Yoo Jong-yeon is shown studying, revealing her desire to learn diverse combat methods for personal strength beyond swordsmanship. Yoo Jong-yeon observes Yoo Baekjun, contemplating her own suppressed interest in other martial arts due to her master position. Yoo Jong-jae looks thoughtful, internalizing the clan's strict adherence to swordsmanship, despite her burgeoning curiosity about other fighting styles. Yoo Jong-yeon asserts the clan's sole focus on swordsmanship, as Yoo Baekjun sits amidst the remnants of his intense training. Yoo Jong-yeon gazes with a serious expression, directly challenging the restrictive clan rule regarding martial arts. Yoo Baekjun passionately argues that the clan should not be limited to swords, given the martial god's diverse combat techniques. Yoo Baekjun, seated on the ground, prepares to make a crucial point to Yoo Jong-yeon, who stands attentively. Yoo Baekjun defiantly declares his intention to disregard the clan's restrictive rules and learn any technique to become stronger. Yoo Jong-yeon stands, listening intently to Yoo Baekjun, her presence a silent backdrop to his strong declarations. Yoo Jong-yeon listens to the bold declaration with a thoughtful, unreadable expression, processing its implications. The narrative reveals the mystery of why the martial god only left sword techniques, noting his absence from the game. A radiant, ancient book glows brightly, symbolizing a powerful martial arts technique or secret knowledge. Yoo Jong-yeon acknowledges Yoo Baekjun's unique perspective stems from his freedom from traditional clan training methods. Yoo Baekjun looks somewhat hesitant, humbly admitting his own imperfections despite his firm resolve. With a warm smile, Yoo Jong-yeon offers her support and assistance to Yoo Baekjun with his training. Yoo Baekjun's eyes gleam with realization, identifying Yoo Jong-yeon's burgeoning curiosity about other martial arts. Yoo Baekjun cautions Yoo Jong-yeon that associating with him, an outcast, could negatively impact her standing in the clan. With a calm smile, Yoo Jong-yeon dismisses the concern, stating she is already an outcast in the clan. Yoo Jong-yeon suggests their shared outcast status means her teaching him would have no further negative consequences. Yoo Baekjun silently contemplates how other masters would never agree to teach him, unlike Yoo Jong-yeon. The narration reveals Yoo Jong-yeon's offer isn't from shared outcast status, but her disregard for clan opinions. The narrative highlights Yoo Jong-yeon's impressive talent as a master, coupled with her independent spirit. A sudden, sharp realization strikes, signaling a pivotal shift in understanding. With a wide grin, Yoo Baekjun eagerly accepts the offer of training from Yoo Jong-yeon. The narrative reveals Yoo Jong-yeon's innate talent for mana manipulation and potential as a powerful magic swordsman. With a stern, determined expression, Yoo Jong-yeon instructs him to remain seated, indicating immediate, intense training. Yoo Baekjun tries to postpone the training, but Yoo Jong-yeon's stern voice immediately shuts him down. Yoo Baekjun is terrified as the night deepens, a stark contrast to the new, intense training atmosphere set by Yoo Jung-yeon. A bright, clear day dawns over the clan buildings, signaling the continuation of their journey. Yoo Baekjun stretches and prepares for training under the watchful, assessing gaze of Yoo Jung-yeon. Yoo Jung-yeon observes silently, her expression hinting at deep consideration of the situation. The narrative introduces the heaven-surging mind technique, the clan's foundational martial art gifted by the martial god. Yoo Jung-yeon explains her modified technique, preparing to infuse Yoo Baekjun with mana to demonstrate its manipulation. Blue mana surges from Yoo Jung-yeon's hand into Yoo Baekjun, leaving him profoundly shocked and overwhelmed by the sensation. A sudden realization explains Yoo Baekjun's incredible endurance and sustained use of the Qinggong technique. Yoo Jung-yeon, visibly surprised, realizes Yoo Baekjun possesses an astonishing mana capacity far beyond a beginner. Overwhelmed by his potential, Yoo Jung-yeon perceives Yoo Baekjun's body as a divinely blessed physique capable of manipulating mana. Yoo Baekjun's eye widens in surprise as he instantly comprehends the intricate mana manipulation technique. Yoo Baekjun eagerly declares his intent to immediately try the technique, prompting Yoo Jung-yeon's surprised offer of support. The narration emphasizes the immense dedication and countless hours required to master this complex mana cultivation technique. Yoo Jung's hand pulses with mana on Yoo Baekjun's shoulder, underscoring his previous lack of martial arts training. Yoo Jung-yeon revises her judgment, recognizing that Yoo Baekjun's innate talent transcends typical training and ability. Yoo Jung-yeon observes other instructors, reflecting on their self-serving motivations for supporting clan successors. Yoo Jung-yeon maintains a thoughtful expression, criticizing other masters for prioritizing power over martial arts mastery. Yoo Baekjun exhales deeply, a moment of respite before the next phase of intense training. Yoo Baekjun, looking up with anticipation, eagerly asks his instructor for feedback on his performance. Yoo Jung-yeon is utterly astounded, declaring Yoo Baekjun's performance was perfect despite her expectations. Yoo Baekjun casually yawns after perfectly replicating a complex technique, demonstrating his ridiculous talent. The narration emphasizes Yoo Baekjun's remarkable talent, suggesting he may be the most gifted among his siblings. Yoo Jinon watches Yoo Baekjun, beginning to consider his true potential and significance. Yoo Baekjun internally reaffirms his vow to learn all combat methods, rejecting rigid clan traditions to become stronger. Yoo Jung-yeon contemplates an unexpected decision, possibly supporting Yoo Baekjun despite his long journey ahead. Yoo Baekjun flashes a knowing, satisfied smirk, hinting at his successful manipulation of events. Yoo Baekjun relaxes on his bed with a book, expressing his satisfaction with the ease of acquiring free skills. An internal monologue details Yoo Baekjun's strategic plan to train in skills, engage his instructor, and become stronger by any means. Yoo Baekjun grins on his bed, confirming he will learn the heaven-surging mind technique and another skill from Han Seong-ah. An abstract illustration depicts the heaven-surging mind technique, a mana cultivation method now enhanced by Han Seong-ah's modifications. Yoo Baekjun observes another clan member, reflecting that impressing Han Seong-ah and fulfilling her quest conditions is a true challenge. Yoo Baekjun reclines, confidently asserting his otherworldly talent will ensure his instructor continues to teach him. Yoo Baekjun smiles confidently, anticipating continued success due to his exceptional natural talent. A bright, clear day over the clan buildings announces that the spar is only one day away. Two clan members observe Yoo Baekjun's relentless training, questioning his incredible stamina and endurance. A fierce training sequence emphasizes rapid footwork and intense instruction to perform the Qinggong technique faster. Yoo Baekjun, looking exhausted, continues to run intensely, urged on by his energetic instructor, Han Seong-ah. Two observing clan members comment on Yoo Baekjun's remarkable effort and persistent hard work during training. A breathless Yoo Baekjun looks shocked, while his instructor, Han Seong-ah, sternly pushes him to go even faster. The sun sets over the clan's traditional buildings, signifying the end of another day of intense training. Yoo Baekjun collapses onto the ground from exhaustion, while his instructor, Han Seong-ah, watches him. Han Seong-ah, with a tired expression, declares the training complete for the day, instructing Yoo Baekjun to recover for tomorrow. A weary Yoo Baekjun thanks instructor Han Seong-ah, acknowledging how much he has learned from her guidance. Han Seong-ah expresses surprise that Yoo Baekjun finished the tough training without complaint, and he credits her encouragement. Yoo Baekjun earnestly asks Han Seong-ah to continue coaching him, highlighting the many techniques he still needs to master. Han Seong-ah looks at Yoo Baekjun, internally questioning his claim of needing more work despite his astounding progress. Han Seong-ah mentally affirms Yoo Baekjun's extraordinary talent, recalling how he perfectly executed a complex technique on his first try. A powerful visual accentuates Han Seong-ah's disbelief that a master previously dismissed Yoo Baekjun's immense talent. Two clan members look surprised as Han Seong-ah and Yoo Baekjun observe an unexpected new arrival in the courtyard. A muscular man with dark sunglasses stands imposingly at the top of the stairs, calling out to Yoo Baekjun. The muscular man's face contorts in a furious scream, unleashing an enraged insult at Yoo Baekjun. Han Seong-ah looks concerned as she recognizes the muscular man as young master Yoo Kang-ho. A foot steps forward with force, indicating an aggressive advance as the sound of heavy footsteps reverberates. Han Seong-ah looks startled and calls out to someone off-panel with concern in her eyes. The muscular man sternly tells Han Seong-ah to stay out of the situation, leaving her surprised and confused. The muscular man dismisses Han Seong-ah with a gesture, asserting control over the confrontation. The muscular man delivers a powerful blow to Yoo Baekjun, who reels from the impact as Han Seong-ah watches. The muscular man violently grips Yoo Baekjun by his shirt, a painful expression visible on Yoo Baekjun's face. Muscular man glares intensely at Yoo Baekjun, angrily questioning if he is being mocked. A bruised Yoo Baekjun looks confused, while the muscular man fiercely questions why he didn't forfeit the spar. Yoo Baekjun, looking confident, asks the muscular man why he should forfeit, asserting his inevitable victory. Muscular man clutches Yoo Baekjun's shirt, expressing shame at having to spar with someone beneath him. The muscular man mocks Yoo Baekjun, asking if he's nervous or afraid of losing the fight. Yoo Baekjun smiles calmly despite his bruised face, while the muscular man reacts with stunned surprise. The muscular man, still gripping Yoo Baekjun, states their father approved the fight, making it impossible to back out. A clan member looks on, wide-eyed and shocked, as the intense confrontation unfolds before him. The muscular man's face darkens, his eyes narrowed, as a sinister aura emanates around him. Muscular man laughs darkly, a chilling smirk spreading across his face. The muscular man, with a sinister smile, casually retracts his previous statement. Yoo Baekjun looks away from his opponent, calmly stating he will see his beloved brother tomorrow. The muscular man's face twists into a menacing grin, his thoughts revealing the spar permits taking an opponent's life. Yoo Baekjun and Han Seong-ah stand together, with Yoo Baekjun warning his opponent to prepare for their confrontation. Yoo Baekjun's bruised face reflects a moment of grim contemplation regarding the imminent spar. A clan member praises young Master Kang-ho, admiring his powerful and imposing presence. Several clan members casually stroll away, betting on how quickly the upcoming spar will conclude. Yoo Baekjun suggests to Han Seong-ah that they return inside, and she calmly agrees. Time progresses, marking the arrival of the important D-Day for the clan. A traditional courtyard is seen, with dust swirling, suggesting activity or a significant event about to unfold. Two clan members ascend stairs, discussing who initiated the upcoming duel, with one suggesting Yoo Baekjun. A female clan member smiles subtly, seemingly pondering the conversation about the duel's instigator. The female clan member observes Yoo Kang-ho arriving early in the distance, noting Yoo Baekjun's absence. The female clan member smiles, reflecting on the presence of the influential old geezers of the clan. 4 clan elders stand formally before an ornate empty throne, overseeing the proceedings. 2 stern-faced male elders are seen, revealed to be supporters of Yoo Tae-rang. The female clan member smiles, her thoughts turning to a more significant individual. A female character named Jae-yeon stands composedly, and a thought arises about needing to win her allegiance. 2 female clan members react with surprise, one pointing and speaking, the other looking puzzled. A confident Yoo Baekjun and another male clan member calmly walk towards the gathering, indicating their arrival. The male clan member accompanying Yoo Baekjun appears anxious, his brow furrowed with worry. The nervous male clan member internally questions why Master Han Seong-ah is accompanying Yoo Baekjun. Yoo Baekjun smiles, expressing gratitude for a protective barrier but wishing it also shielded against the cold. Yoo Baekjun addresses the nervous male clan member, who hesitates to respond. The nervous male clan member looks startled, then expresses his belief that Yoo Baekjun will not lose the upcoming fight. Yoo Baekjun smiles, acknowledging the male clan member's previous concern and his observation of Yoo Baekjun's training. The nervous male clan member voices his concern that Yoo Baekjun might get hurt by Kung Ho, even if he wins. Yoo Baekjun looks thoughtful and composed, processing the other character's worried words. The nervous male clan member looks wide-eyed and surprised, reacting to Yoo Baekjun's remark. The nervous male clan member points excitedly, announcing the patriarch's arrival, as Yoo Baekjun observes. Yoo Baekjun's focused gaze indicates a shift in attention, likely towards the incoming patriarch. Yoo Baekjun suggests they prepare themselves, looking towards the traditional building where the patriarch is expected. Yoo Baekjun turns to the nervous male clan member, offering to share something interesting, who eagerly asks what it is. Yoo Baekjun begins recounting how his brother traveled extensively from a young age. Yoo Baekjun explains that his brother sustained a terrible right arm injury from a monster, showing a flashback of the injured brother. Yoo Baekjun hands his outer garment to the male clan member, who thanks him for it. Yoo Baekjun prepares to reveal something important, a distinct sound effect indicating a system notification. A quest window appears, outlining a duel against Yoo Kung Ho to teach him a lesson, with rewards listed. A close-up reveals Yoo Baekjun's confident, slightly smirking mouth, indicating his resolve for the quest. The patriarch, an elder with long hair, sits on his throne, advising someone to not worry so much. Jaeyeon stands respectfully on a balcony, observing the ongoing scene from above. Jaeyeon bows her head slightly, indicating a moment of respect or acknowledgement. A stern individual announces the duel's commencement, asking the two combatants if they are ready. Yoo Baekjun stands ready, his hands generating a powerful aura, prepared for the imminent fight. Yoo Kung Ho charges forward with intense rage, holding a sword, glaring fiercely at Yoo Baekjun. Yoo Baekjun calmly faces Yoo Kung Ho across the courtyard, anticipating his opponent's move. Yoo Baekjun smiles confidently, verbally accepting the challenge posed by his opponent. Yoo Kung Ho's face contorts with fury as he vehemently vows to kill Yoo Baekjun. Yoo Kung Ho menacingly declares his intent to kill Yoo Baekjun, then signals for the duel to begin. A powerful foot strike on the ground signifies the immediate start of the intense duel. Yoo Baekjun's eye sharpens with fierce determination, focused intently on the confrontation. Yoo Baekjun attempts a powerful 9 Dragon Fangs technique, but only manages to execute 5 Dragon Fangs due to his current skill level. Yoo Kung Ho lunges with an energy attack, challenging Yoo Baekjun to dodge without martial arts training as Yoo Baekjun activates a skill. Yoo Baekjun moves with swiftness, a bright aura surrounding him, as he reacts to Yoo Kung Ho's attack. The scene shifts abruptly to a gamer's desk, with frustrated text exclaiming disappointment. The player character at his computer sighs, reflecting on his past difficulties clearing the game's Yoo Baekjun route. The player character, looking troubled, wonders aloud what strategy is required to defeat Yoo Kung Ho. The player character laments the unique challenge of the Yoo Baekjun route, resolving to find a solution alone. The player character sits at his desk, contemplating game strategy and the specific slashing techniques required. A close-up of the player character's determined eye signals a sudden breakthrough in his strategic thinking. The player character smiles with newfound excitement, realizing a potentially cowardly but effective strategy for the game. An abstract representation highlights the crucial game mechanic of combining skills, which is described as a fun factor. Yoo Baekjun is seen conversing with an unseen individual, casually acknowledging the need to rest, in what appears to be a flashback scene. Yoo Baekjun bids farewell to Seungmin, confirming his intent to go to sleep, implying a transition to rest or reflection. A golden aura emanates from Yoo Baekjun's hands, suggesting his interaction with a mystical or game-like system. The player character's internal monologue focuses on devising a plan to combine skills effectively to defeat Yoo Kang-ho. Yoo Baekjun smiles confidently, examining a glowing display, preparing to select or combine new skills. A hand points to a list of purchasable skills on a glowing screen, indicating new abilities like ground kick are available. A dynamic illustration demonstrates the ground kick skill, showing Yoo Baekjun kicking up dust and rocks at an enemy. Yoo Kang-ho smirks arrogantly, dismissing Yoo Baekjun's technique as a trash-ass move, unaware of what's coming. Yoo Kang-ho's face contorts in surprise as he is caught off guard by an unforeseen element in the duel. A powerful ice crystal forms, displaying the activation of an attribute manifestation skill, hinting at an elemental attack. Blue energy shards erupt from an impact, indicating a swift and forceful elemental strike. Yoo Kang-ho reacts with disbelief and fear, bracing himself with his staff against the unexpected onslaught. A forceful impact strikes Yoo Kang-ho, causing him to grunt in pain and show signs of injury. Yoo Kang-ho, injured and enraged, accuses Yoo Baekjun of using dirty little tricks during the duel. A powerful impact leaves a clear mark on the ground, emphasizing the force of Yoo Baekjun's attack. A devastating strike lands directly on Yoo Kang-ho's face, causing him visible pain and sending him reeling. Yoo Baekjun delivers a powerful, quick punch that sends Yoo Kang-ho flying backward through the air. A hand firmly grips a weapon, with blood spatters indicating the intensity of the ongoing battle. A forceful impact on a limb suggests a parry or block during the fierce duel. Yoo Baekjun asserts dominance, holding Yoo Kang-ho down and menacingly preparing to strike with a weapon. The nervous male clan member watches the duel with a wide-eyed expression of surprise and concern. Two stern clan elders, visibly startled, react to the unfolding events of the duel. Yoo Baekjun continues his fierce assault on Yoo Kang-ho, while another character observes the intense battle from a distance. Yoo Kang-ho is badly beaten, spitting blood and gritting his teeth in severe pain and defeat. Yoo Baekjun stands triumphantly over the defeated Yoo Kang-ho, his power resonating across the shattered courtyard. Yoo Baekjun shouts in defiance as Yoo Kang-ho lies injured on the ground, struggling to move. Yoo Baekjun executes the Qinggong technique's swift steps, moving with incredible speed while Yoo Kang-ho remains defeated on the ground. Yoo Baekjun looks down at his defeated opponent, calmly expressing his brother's embarrassing performance. Yoo Baekjun continues to mock Yoo Kang-ho, noting that despite his threats, he hasn't even managed to scratch him. A battered and enraged Yoo Kang-ho defiantly shouts at Yoo Baekjun to be silent. Yoo Baekjun calmly confronts his brother, questioning why their father allowed his past rebellious behavior. A close-up of Yoo Baekjun's resolute eye reflects his thoughts on Yoo Kang-ho's supposed talent. Yoo Kang-ho, bruised and panting, listens to Yoo Baekjun's assessment of his talent for bullying others. Yoo Baekjun smiles subtly, dismissing the notion that his father truly considered Yoo Kang-ho talented. An enraged Yoo Kang-ho yells defiantly and launches a powerful moon slash attack. Yoo Kang-ho's glowing moon slash cuts through the air, heading towards a calm Yoo Baekjun. Yoo Kang-ho grins menacingly, believing Yoo Baekjun's attempt to block his attack barehanded will lead to his downfall. Yoo Kang-ho's expression shifts to shock as he realizes Yoo Baekjun's counter will target his hands. Yoo Baekjun unleashes a devastating attribute manifestation plus strike, enveloping his fist in radiant energy. Yoo Baekjun delivers a powerful strike surrounded by a swirling aura, creating a destructive impact on the ground. Yoo Kang-ho looks utterly astonished and injured, questioning the nature of Yoo Baekjun's enhanced energy. Jaeun, a female observer, looks on with a thoughtful and observant expression. A defeated Yoo Kang-ho stumbles back, absorbing a final, impactful statement from Yoo Baekjun. Yoo Kang-ho lies defeated on the ground, absorbing Yoo Baekjun's harsh words about survival in the clan. Yoo Baekjun floats above the defeated Yoo Kang-ho, delivering a powerful decree about the strong preying on the weak. Yoo Baekjun, radiating formidable power, delivers a final, decisive attribute manifestation plus strike to conclude the duel. A devastating explosion erupts, tearing through the landscape and leaving a powerful impression of destruction. A female observer stands amidst the rubble, visibly stunned and disoriented by the immense force of the blast. A male character shields his face, expressing distress and impaired vision due to the overwhelming dust and debris. The traditional courtyard lies in ruins, shrouded in dust, as an unseen character urgently calls out a name. A system notification ding sound effect appears over Yoo Baekjun's chest, signaling a new game event. A golden quest window announces the successful completion of the quest. I became the shame of the household. A quest window confirms a reward of 300p and increased proficiency in Martial God's Book. Yoo Baekjun stands powerfully over the defeated Yoo Kang-ho, his victory undeniable amidst the swirling dust. Yoo Baekjun confidently declares his intent to seize Yoo Kang-ho's authority and possessions as the rightful winner. A defeated character's hand lies in the foreground, while the clan's main building looms, signifying the winner's spoils. A character reacts with wide-eyed astonishment, marveling at the incredible display of power witnessed. Two clan members, including Jaeon, express disbelief at Yoo Baekjun's rapid mastery of enhanced energy without direct teaching. The male clan member clarifies that only basic circulation and qigong techniques were taught, not advanced combat methods. Two male clan elders express their profound disbelief that Yoo Baekjun gained such proficiency entirely on his own. Jaeon questions the source of Yoo Baekjun's talent, dismissing common genius given his previous lack of skill. Jaeon reflects on her father's past attempts to train Yoo Baekjun, pondering if his earlier assessments were mistaken. The patriarch, Yoo Moo-hak, looks down solemnly, grappling with the surprising implications of recent events. A close-up shows the patriarch's stern, thoughtful expression, contemplating his son's unexpected rise. Jaeon instructs a male clan member to summon Yoo Baekjun to the patriarch's room. Yoo Baekjun expresses his exhaustion and depleted mana, while Seungmin praises his flawless and impressive victory. Yoo Baekjun casually reminds Seungmin that he had confidently assured her of his success from the start. Yoo Baekjun's intense gaze suggests he is deep in thought, formulating a new plan or strategy. Yoo Baekjun contemplates asking Seungmin for official support, sensing her admiration and likely agreement. Yoo Baekjun receives his clothes, internally deciding not to rush his plans with Seungmin, even if this were a game. An elder clan member formally informs Yoo Baekjun that the patriarch wishes to see him. Yoo Baekjun anticipates the patriarch's request to choose a grandmaster and agrees to meet him after dressing. Yoo Baekjun walks with purpose, internally asserting his ambition to achieve more than just a new master. Medics carry a defeated Yoo Kang-ho away, as Yoo Baekjun observes his brother's ruined reputation in the clan. Yoo Baekjun smirks, noting Yoo Kang-ho's diminished status and recognizing further opportunities for himself. Yoo Baekjun smiles knowingly, resolving to replicate his previous strategies to achieve his goals. Yoo Baekjun enters Yoo Moo-hak's room, where several influential figures of the clan are gathered. Yoo Moo-hak, the patriarch, regards Yoo Baekjun with an intense, scrutinizing gaze. Yoo Baekjun kneels respectfully before the patriarch, showing deference. The patriarch asks Yoo Baekjun about his desire to learn martial arts, which Yoo Baekjun affirms. The patriarch explains that only individuals with exceptional talent can be taught by the grandmasters, the clan's pillars. The patriarch directly challenges Yoo Baekjun, questioning if he possesses the necessary talent to be taught. Yoo Baekjun responds with a defiant question, challenging the patriarch's assessment of his talent. A female subordinate reacts with visible shock and alarm at Yoo Baekjun's audacious reply to the patriarch. The patriarch, undeterred by the insolence, acknowledges Yoo Baekjun's spirit. The patriarch, addressing Yoo Baekjun, states that he cannot be taught by all the grandmasters present. Two clan elders emphasize that grandmasters cannot be influenced by family ties, reinforcing the patriarch's decision. Yoo Baekjun expresses his understanding that he must choose only one grandmaster, confirming his previous suspicion. The male elder lists the grandmasters, noting that 3 already support another successor, limiting Yoo Baekjun's options. Yoo Baekjun realizes he has only one viable choice to activate the specific event he desires. With a confident smile, Yoo Baekjun declares his strategic choice to select Grandmaster Jaeon. Grandmaster Jaeon is shown in a composed side profile, a thoughtful expression on her face. Text introduces Ji-yeon as the clan's most skilled combat instructor and a long-serving loyalist to the patriarch. Ji-yeon is described as dedicated to improving the clan's swordsmanship and nurturing new talent, separate from succession disputes. The narrative highlights Ji-yeon's success, stating that some of her students have themselves become combat instructors. A younger Han Seong-ah is identified as one of Ji-yeon's successful students during her training years. Amidst the clan members, a discussion begins about the clan's most influential instructor, hinting at a crucial decision. Yoo Baekjun confirms his strategic choice to apprentice under Master Instructor Ji-yeon. The patriarch directly addresses Ji-yeon, seeking her response to Yoo Baekjun's surprising request. Ji-yeon remains silent, her expression thoughtful as she ponders the situation. An old elder sighs, acknowledging that the situation has reached its decisive conclusion. Reflections surface on Yoo Baekjun's incredible talent and Ji-yeon's steadfast neutrality regarding clan succession. Ji-yeon announces her intent to conduct a personal confirmation before accepting Yoo Baekjun as a disciple. Ji-yeon approaches the kneeling Yoo Baekjun, asking for permission to proceed with her assessment. Ji-yeon places her hand on Yoo Baekjun's head, appearing to evaluate his inherent talent with a subtle energy release. Yoo Baekjun's eyes glow with confidence, internally affirming the predictable outcome of Ji-yeon's assessment. Ji-yeon reacts with visible shock and disbelief at Yoo Baekjun's overwhelming talent, while he smirks. The patriarch proclaims Yoo Baekjun's state as perfect, surprising the other clan elders. A clan elder questions Ji-yeon, seeking clarification on her declaration that Yoo Baekjun is perfect. Yoo Baekjun, still kneeling, confirms that his impressive physique is what Ji-yeon finds to be perfect. Two elders are left in stunned contemplation, marveling at Ji-yeon's extraordinary assessment. The patriarch from his throne presses Ji-yeon for her final decision on taking Yoo Baekjun as a disciple. Ji-yeon recounts her consistent refusal to take disciples to avoid involvement in clan succession disputes. Ji-yeon's resolute gaze intensifies, signifying a profound change in her long-standing policy. Ji-yeon declares her intention to defy her usual practice and formally accept Yoo Baekjun as her disciple. The patriarch, with a knowing look, graciously assents to Ji-yeon's unexpected decision. The patriarch dismisses everyone except Ji-yeon, but Yoo Baekjun interjects with another request. Yoo Baekjun, with a respectful but firm demeanor, states his desire to make one final request. The patriarch looks directly at Yoo Baekjun, acknowledging his request with a simple affirmation. Yoo Baekjun boldly requests permission to utilize the clan's financial resources. The male clan member with the beard reacts with wide-eyed astonishment at Yoo Baekjun's audacious demand. Ji-yeon looks knowingly at Yoo Baekjun, seeming to grasp the deeper implications of his request. Montage reveals various clan members have freely squandered clan money, unlike Yoo Baekjun, who was neglected. Allowing Yoo Baekjun free use of clan money would signify the patriarch's full acceptance of him. Yoo Baekjun stands with a determined expression, knowing this approval would legitimize his standing within the clan. Yoo Baekjun reflects on his past simple needs versus the new financial demands for his grand ambitions. The patriarch, with a subtle smile, grants Yoo Baekjun's unexpected request for clan funds. The patriarch commands that all of Yoo Kang-ho's money be transferred directly to Yoo Baekjun. Two female attendants react with visible shock and alarm at the patriarch's severe decree. A female attendant, visibly distressed, attempts to protest the patriarch's harsh ruling against Yoo Kang-ho. The patriarch's eyes glow with an icy resolve, silencing all protest with his absolute authority. The female attendant stares in stunned silence, completely overwhelmed by the patriarch's decision. Yoo Baekjun notes the distraught attendant, recognizing her loyalty to Yoo Kang-ho, and poses a challenging question. The patriarch, with an intense glare, questions if Yoo Kang-ho has been neglecting his martial training. The female attendant, distressed, acknowledges Yoo Kang-ho's talent but can't deny his recent idleness. The patriarch sternly reminds her of the spar's victor and demands if Yoo Kang-ho showed any superiority. The patriarch's face is grim, asserting that there is no place for weakness within the clan. An old elder silently absorbs the patriarch's uncompromising judgment. The patriarch dismisses the attendant, and the scene shifts to an imposing aerial view of the snowy clan estate. An imposing aerial view of the clan's grand estate and the surrounding snowy mountains, signifying its majesty and power. A hand gracefully holds a cup, poised to take a drink. Jaeyeon sips from her cup, then asks about Yoo Baekjun's performance during his visit. The patriarch stands with his back to the viewer, while Jaeyeon kneels, awaiting his judgment on Yoo Baekjun. Jaeyeon, with a contemplative expression, acknowledges the patriarch's queries about the youngest master. Jaeyeon looks down thoughtfully, admitting a profound uncertainty about Yoo Baekjun's true nature. Jaeyeon muses that despite teaching countless talented individuals, none have matched Yoo Baekjun's extraordinary potential. Jaeyeon, deep in thought, contemplates the extraordinary potential she has witnessed in Yoo Baekjun. Jaeyeon considers Yoo Baekjun's talent, musing he might even rival the clan's master. The patriarch expresses surprise and a sense of unease about the recent turn of events. Overlooking the clan estate, the patriarch and Jaeyeon reflect on how Yoo Baekjun's talent remained hidden. The patriarch discusses Yoo Baekjun's past incident, wondering if it's connected to his sudden emergence of talent. Jaeyeon concludes that Yoo Baekjun's attack and unconsciousness is the only explanation for his newfound abilities. The patriarch finds the possibility of Yoo Baekjun's sudden change to be intriguing and smiles. The patriarch considers Yoo Baekjun a new, potent factor in the ongoing clan succession dispute. The majestic clan estate stands serene under a clear sky, indicating a passage of time or scene transition. Yoo Baekjun diligently recovers and immediately begins his studies with Jaeyeon, preparing for his future. A system notification details the legendary Martial Gods book, now revealing its ability to grant new traits. Yoo Baekjun grins, pleased his Martial Gods book has advanced to rank 2, allowing him to acquire new traits. A translucent figure illustrates the concept of traits, emphasizing their diverse and valuable benefits. Yoo Baekjun holds the Martial Gods book, considering additional benefits it offers him. Yoo Baekjun notes that specific crucial events are gated behind acquiring the necessary traits from his book. Yoo Baekjun reflects on the impending return of Yoo Taerang, knowing he must prepare for a confrontation. With resolute ambition, Yoo Baekjun decides it's time to gain strength and make his presence known. As the scene shifts to the Grand Clan complex, Yoo Baekjun plans to gather information before his official debut. Yoo Baekjun tasks Seongbin with investigating items at an upcoming auction, leaving the young man looking startled. Text panels explain Heroes Road as a dynamic game where character actions can create significant narrative shifts. Yoo Baekjun muses on the efficiency of having Seongbin assist due to his own demanding schedule. A massive fortune of gold, presumably Yo Kangho's, is amassed, astonishing to onlookers with its sheer volume. Young Master. A black card is presented, confirming it as the item Yoo Baekjun requested. The mysterious black card, signifying elite status and the clan's vast wealth, is showcased with dragon engravings. A lingering thought, or slight hesitation, hangs in the air. Yoo Baekjun reveals he specifically asked Seongbin to acquire the black card. Two individuals exchange a thin object, confirming an agreement or transfer of something important. Jaeyeon, with a warm smile and mountain backdrop, officially accepts Yoo Baekjun as her new disciple. The concept of an official master is explained, signifying exclusive mentorship, as Yoo Baekjun stands with his new master. A mysterious, satisfied smile is shown, accompanied by text recognizing Han Seong-a's talent and importance. The speaker expresses disbelief that such a highly skilled person would willingly become their master. Yoo Baekjun expresses enthusiastic approval, stating his happiness to have her as his new master. The snowy clan estate stands majestically, signifying a shift in time or a quiet transition. Yoo Baekjun sits thoughtfully, engrossed in a book within a quiet, scholarly room. Yoo Baekjun intently searches his book for a new trait, declaring he needs to find one for his training. A symbolic battery icon, representing energy and power, appears against an intricate, golden background. Text on an ornate background describes a new trait that grants rapid recovery and fatigue resistance. Yoo Baekjun considers the cost of a C-rank trait, acknowledging its high price but essential need without his healing elixir. Yoo Baekjun reflects on his past dependence on miraculous ginseng, realizing he needs a sustainable way to train. Yoo Baekjun, observing the snowy scenery, decides his traits are sufficient, and now turns his focus to acquiring a new skill. Two methods for skill acquisition are presented: arduous training, or conveniently using a rare, glowing skill book. Numerous skill books float against a dark backdrop, highlighting the rarity and difficulty in acquiring high-ranked skills. A single, potent skill book radiates an intense glow, appearing to be the focus of attention. Yoo Baekjun strolls thoughtfully, acknowledging that consistent training is preferred due to rare skill books. Yoo Baekjun confidently realizes he can circumvent skill book rarity, thanks to his martial god's book. The image focuses on feet, implying movement, while text emphasizes the immense benefit of clan training as a successor. Yoo Baekjun stands contemplating the helpfulness of his current training and position. Yoo Baekjun watches clan members train as Ja-yeon approaches, warmly welcoming him to the training grounds. Grandmaster Ja-yeon smiles warmly, formally introducing herself as the Sword Saint clan's powerful instructor. Sunbeams pierce through ornate traditional windows, indicating a calm transition. Ja-yeon offers tea to an unseen guest, politely inquiring if they enjoy it. Yoo Baekjun, holding a teacup, responds that he doesn't dislike it, his gaze steady. Yoo Baekjun's hands carefully hold the teacup as Ja-yeon confirms his desire for martial arts instruction. Ja-yeon looks directly at Yoo Baekjun, asking what specific martial arts he wishes to learn. Yoo Baekjun sits thoughtfully, holding his teacup, as he prepares his unexpected answer. Yoo Baekjun confidently states his intention to learn fist techniques. Ja-yeon reacts with surprise, questioning his unconventional choice of martial arts. Ja-yeon's expression conveys disbelief as she echoes, "Fist techniques?" Yoo Baekjun confirms his decision, defying the clan's traditional focus on sword techniques. A powerful sword technique is highlighted, and Ja-yeon reminds Yoo Baekjun of the Sword Saint clan specialization. Yoo Baekjun calmly affirms his awareness, holding his teacup. Ja-yeon turns slightly, her thoughtful expression hinting at her confusion regarding his choice. Yoo Baekjun clarifies that he is not entirely discarding sword training. Yoo Baekjun smiles, expressing his ambitious desire to master all forms of martial arts, like the martial god. Yoo Baekjun passionately declares his resolve to learn and utilize everything to enhance his strength. Ja-yeon listens to Yoo Baekjun's bold declaration, her expression contemplative. Yoo Baekjun continues speaking, suggesting his approach will prove advantageous. A close-up on Yoo Baekjun's intense gaze as he makes his point. Ja-yeon sits alone in the sunlit room, reflecting on their profound conversation. Ja-yeon closes her eyes with a satisfied smile, finding Yoo Baekjun's unique ambition interesting. Yoo Baekjun grins, confidently asserting that he chose Ja-yeon precisely because of her hidden knowledge. Ja-yeon looks directly at Yoo Baekjun, acknowledging the truth in a statement. Ja-yeon admits she does know an incomplete fist technique, discovered through extensive search. Yoo Baekjun listens, his expression conveying realization of a potential problem. Ja-yeon confirms his suspicion, stating that the technique she found is incomplete. Ja-yeon's expression subtly shifts as she confirms the technique's incompleteness. Ja-yeon advises Yoo Baekjun to learn the powerful heaven-surging sword technique for greater strength. Yoo Baekjun clenches his cup, firmly stating his unwavering resolve not to change his mind. Yoo Baekjun directly requests that Ja-yeon teach him the incomplete fist technique. Ja-yeon turns away, silently pondering Yoo Baekjun's persistent and unusual request. Ja-yeon looks down, acknowledging Yoo Baekjun's profound determination. A foot steps forward purposefully, signaling the start of vigorous training. Yoo Baekjun and Ja-yeon walk through the snowy training grounds, observing other dedicated clan members. Yoo Baekjun observes the talented trainees, noting the high skill level within the clan. Jia Yan states she will teach him only 2 moves of the incomplete fist technique, which surprises Yoo Baekjun. Jia Yeon reiterates that the technique is incomplete, with much of it missing. Jia Yeon places her hand on a training dummy, imbuing it with glowing blue mana. Jia Yeon prepares to demonstrate, summoning several glowing mana dummies in the training ground. Other clan members observe, expressing surprise at the mana dummies and recognizing Yoo Baekjun beside Jia Yeon. Yoo Baekjun watches intently as a golden prompt appears, signaling a new objective. Quest Window challenges Yoo Baekjun to prove his genius by copying Jia Yeon's demonstration. Yoo Baekjun smirks confidently, assured he can easily accomplish the task. Jia Yeon turns, announcing her intention to demonstrate the first technique. The scene builds anticipation as the name of the first technique is about to be revealed. A bold title card reveals the technique's name, Heavenbreaker. Jia Yeon unleashes a powerful, ground-shattering punch, generating a blue energy shockwave. A large, plain dummy stands, likely the target of the powerful technique. Jia Yeon executes the technique, generating powerful green energy slashes that tear through the air. Jia Yeon stands in a powerful stance, her fist radiating potent green energy from the Heavenbreaker technique. Jia Yeon unleashes a devastating punch, cracking the ground with raw power and a blue energy shockwave. Powerful green energy streaks through the air, indicating the impact of Jia Yeon's formidable technique. Jia Yeon demonstrates a dynamic series of green energy attacks, culminating in a dragon-like projection. Intense green energy trails demonstrate the swift, powerful movement of Jia Yeon's martial arts technique. A violent burst of green energy erupts from the ground, showcasing the sheer destructive force. Jia Yeon stands calmly amidst the dust and lingering energy, observing the aftermath of her demonstration. Yoo Baekjun smiles, reflecting on the power of the Heavenbreaker technique he just witnessed. Jia Yeon explains the highly destructive nature of the Heavenbreaker technique, standing by a damaged area. Jia Yeon clarifies that Heavenbreaker consumes immense mana, beyond the capacity of average practitioners. Yoo Baekjun acknowledges the first technique and eagerly anticipates the demonstration of the second. Jia Yeon prepares the training ground, setting up for the next technique as she hints at its requirements. Jia Yeon positions herself behind a training dummy, preparing it for the upcoming demonstration. Jia Yeon instructs Yoo Baekjun on how to activate the mana scarecrows to attack with mana spheres. Jia Yeon initiates a mana dummy, which begins to glow with blue energy. Jia Yeon infuses mana into the dummy, causing it to radiate bright blue energy, ready for action. A mana dummy launches a blue energy sphere, striking Yoo Baekjun in the chest. A close-up of Yoo Baekjun's hand reveals a slight sting from the mana attack. Yoo Baekjun recoils slightly, surprised by the sting of the mana dummy's attack. Yoo Baekjun questions why the training dummy directly attacked him, puzzled by the unexpected event. Yoo Baekjun realizes this unique scenario was not present in the game he remembers. Jia Yeon explains that the dummy's attack was part of her preparation to demonstrate the second technique. Jia Yeon instructs Yoo Baekjun to observe her demonstration of the second technique closely. A mana dummy infused with energy fires a powerful blue mana sphere. Jia Yeon deftly evades the incoming mana sphere, moving with incredible speed. The fast-moving blue mana sphere streaks past both Jia Yeon and Yoo Baekjun. Jia Yeon retaliates with a powerful green energy counterattack, striking back at an unseen target. Jia Yeon performs an intricate movement, surrounded by swirling green energy, demonstrating the technique. Jia Yeon unleashes a focused burst of green energy, a potent display of her skill. Jia Yeon executes a fluid motion, generating vibrant green energy trails as she deflects an attack. Jia Yeon delivers a precise, powerful strike, leaving behind a brilliant green energy impact. The impact of Jia Yeon's green energy technique echoes, signifying its powerful effect. Other clan members observe the demonstration, reacting with audible shock and amazement. An observing clan member admits the techniques are too difficult to even attempt to copy. Jia Yeon explains the reversal strike technique, noting it's harder to master than Heavenbreaker. Jia Yeon emphasizes that reversal strike requires advanced mana manipulation, making it a versatile skill. Jia Yeon suggests the reversal strike would be useful against mages, and Yoo Baekjun concurs. Yoo Baekjun confidently announces his readiness to attempt the second technique himself. Jia Yeon looks at Yoo Baekjun with a look of surprise after his bold declaration. Two observing clan members express confusion and wonder why Yoo Baekjun is with the master instructor. Other clan members discuss the rumor that Yoo Baekjun, the weakling, is training under Jia Yeon after his fight. A skeptical clan member insists on witnessing Yoo Baekjun's purported abilities with his own eyes. The master instructor, Jia Yeon, prepares the training dummy for Yoo Baekjun's attempt. Jia Yeon questions if Yoo Baekjun will try the second technique first, and he confirms his intent. Yoo Baekjun's intention to copy the technique after a single viewing astonishes those nearby. Jia Yeon observes Yoo Baekjun with a thoughtful and assessing expression. Other trainees openly mock Yoo Baekjun, expecting him to fail and be humiliated. Yoo Baekjun declares his readiness, his gaze firm and determined. Text panels explain the conventional methods of acquiring skills through training or skill books. The narrative emphasizes that rigorous, harsh training is an unavoidable path to skill acquisition. Yoo Baekjun stands enveloped in a blue aura, confidently stating that he is an exception to traditional training methods. A training dummy is powerfully struck by a swift, precise blue energy projection. Intense blue energy streaks across the ground, hinting at powerful and rapid movements. The protagonist unleashes multiple blue energy attacks, dominating the outdoor training ground with intense power. With fierce determination, the long-haired male conjures a volatile, blazing orb of flame, hinting at powerful secrets. An older man's face registers profound shock, utterly surprised by an unseen development. The long-haired warrior unleashes a blazing attack, leaving two onlookers above stunned by his power. The male character unleashes a wide-ranging, devastating fiery attack, dominating the training ground. The male protagonist's fiery technique rages on, viewed from a close-up perspective of another participant. A female observer gasps in disbelief as the male protagonist effortlessly absorbs a powerful strike, radiating immense strength. A sharp impact mark scorches the ground, with scattered embers hinting at a recent explosive force. A volatile fiery orb expands explosively, radiating intense destructive power outwards. The protagonist unleashes an overwhelming surge of fiery power, engulfing the scene with a blazing wave. A powerful explosion erupts within the traditional buildings, startling the serene mountain landscape. A charred, smoldering object tumbles across the ground, leaving a trail of fire in its wake. A foot casually prods a small, smoldering object on the ground, assessing the damage. A group of male onlookers stands in astonished silence, utterly dumbfounded by the display. The female instructor stares in utter disbelief, questioning how such a feat could be possible. A character reflects on the immense difficulty of mastering the technique, amazed by the young man's genius. The narrator expresses awe at the protagonist's ability to not only copy, but also significantly improve the technique. The protagonist quietly stands as a system notification confirms he has cleared the quest. Of course, I'm a genius. A quest window announces the successful completion and a reward of 200 points. Master Jia Yeon praises the protagonist, amazed by his ingenious use of absorbed mana. The protagonist smiles, modestly accepting the praise, but downplaying his own accomplishments. The protagonist explains his strategy of compensating for low mana with external sources, showcasing practical thinking. The protagonist offers a slightly awkward and hesitant response, seemingly unsure how to continue. The protagonist surveys the extensive damage, concluding his powerful technique still falls short of his expectations. The protagonist critiques his own technique as loud but ineffective, prompting thoughtful consideration from his instructor. The female instructor ponders the protagonist's assessment, deep in thought about his capabilities. The female instructor sincerely praises the protagonist's talent, causing him to react with surprise and gratitude. Master Jaeyeon declares her unparalleled experience with trainees, highlighting the protagonist's exceptional, unrivaled talent. The female instructor humbly confesses she lacks the confidence to continue teaching such an exceptional talent. The protagonist reacts with surprise, as his instructor admits she lacks the confidence to continue teaching him. The protagonist observes a familiar pattern, realizing a hidden feature within the quest window. A hidden feature reveals the prior quest performance directly influences the reward for the heir to the martial god. The protagonist processes the revelation, connecting it to his instructor's recent statements about his talent. A quest window praises the protagonist as the heir to the martial god and rewards him with ghostly shadow steps. The protagonist expresses his satisfaction, noting that the acquired skill is a useful one he had already intended to purchase. A looming warning suggests a critical, unforeseen catch awaits in the unfolding quest. The female instructor, with renewed resolve, declares her continued commitment to teaching the protagonist. The instructor asks about ghostly shadow steps and its connection to the protagonist's technique, then prepares to demonstrate. A startling revelation warns of the upcoming training's extreme and demanding difficulty. A week passes, revealing the protagonist was subjected to an unbelievably grueling and exhausting training regimen. The protagonist lies utterly exhausted on the ground, declaring his complete inability to continue the relentless training. An utterly exhausted protagonist reacts with bewildered surprise to an unexpected compliment. The female instructor stands observing the utterly exhausted and collapsed protagonist. The female instructor smiles, praising the protagonist's astonishing improvement in just one short week. Lying on the ground, the protagonist humbly dismisses the praise, claiming his skill is still far below hers. The instructor lightheartedly teases the protagonist about already aiming to surpass her skill. An elder man and a young woman observe, with the elder judging the protagonist's ambition as arrogant. The female instructor recognizes and greets Pharmacist Ju Jungwon and Seong-ah, the two new arrivals. The exhausted protagonist receives medicine from Pharmacist Ju Jungwon as Seong-ah observes their reunion. Seong-ah respectfully bows to her master, who questions her sudden appearance at the training grounds. The protagonist sips his drink, unaware of the significant news the elder pharmacist Ju Jungwon is about to reveal. The protagonist's expression shifts to surprise as the elder realizes he remains unaware of an important development. Master Jaeyeon, with a knowing look, confirms Seong-ah is now her direct affiliate instructor. The group shares a lighthearted moment as Master Jaeyeon teases Seong-ah about abandoning her vow of neutrality. Seong-ah blushes with embarrassment, asking her companions not to tease her about changing her mind. Master Jaeyeon smiles playfully, admitting she was merely teasing Seong-ah about her changed stance. Seong-ah earnestly clarifies that her significant decision was well considered, not made impulsively. The protagonist offers a supportive look, affirming his belief that Seong-ah thought deeply about her decision. Master Jaeyeon gazes with unwavering trust and affection, expressing her constant belief in her apprentice. The elder and protagonist calmly converse amidst the serene backdrop of traditional buildings and snowy peaks. Master Jaeyeon declares the protagonist's teaching complete, and he hesitantly accepts this new phase. Master Jaeyeon's determined gaze signals a serious transition, preparing for the next critical topic. The group reacts with surprise as Master Jaeyeon reveals young Master Yu Taerang's return is imminent. A compelling question challenges the protagonist's resolve to become the heir to the martial god. The protagonist and Master Jaeyeon join hands, signaling an irreversible commitment to his path. The protagonist reflects on the consequences of his ambition and the strategic choices ahead, including faction alignment. The protagonist's confident smirk reveals his unwavering resolve and bold ambition. The protagonist confidently challenges the notion of him yielding or joining another faction. Master Jaeyeon smiles, realizing her concerns about the protagonist's path were unnecessary. The serene landscape provides a backdrop for a reflection on how past heirs would complicate the current succession. The protagonist lowers his head in somber reflection, recalling the grief of young lady Yoo Jung-yeon. The protagonist is addressed, signaling an imminent revelation or a new set of instructions. Master Jae-yeon sternly warns that two ambitious individuals will stop at nothing to seize clan leadership. The protagonist affirms his full awareness of the perilous power struggles unfolding around him. The protagonist's internal monologue reveals a profound understanding of the true dangers ahead. Master Jae-yeon praises the protagonist's exceptional training, expressing honor in having taught him. The majestic traditional architecture against a snowy landscape marks a significant, quiet moment. The protagonist and Seong-ah walk contemplatively side by side, moving towards new events. The protagonist reveals the grim truth. Yoo Jung-min and Yoo Leon are both deceased. A shocking declaration states the deaths were officially ruled as a mere accident. A bloody blade dramatically questions the narrative of an accident, hinting at darker truths. A menacing shadow reveals Yoo Tae-rung brutally murdered and covered up the deaths of rival heirs. The protagonist reflects on the imminent danger, realizing he is now Yoo Tae-rung's primary target. The protagonist stands resolute, declaring his urgent need to become significantly more powerful. A surprised "ah" escapes someone's lips, hinting at an unexpected turn. A new, chubby servant named Choi Sung-min greets the young master with surprised recognition. The protagonist and Seong-ah stare in utter confusion at the unexpected new arrival. Servant Choi Sung-min stands facing the protagonist and Seong-ah in a traditional interior, creating an unexpected encounter. Servant Choi Sung-min stands near a table, while the protagonist observes him inside the traditional building. The protagonist looks startled, realizing he has unwittingly stumbled into a dangerous, predicted storyline. A dramatic declaration commends someone's audacity, implying a startling lack of recognition. The protagonist's eye widens in startled surprise at the sudden, bold declaration. The female protagonist, disguised as a servant, reacts with shock, accusing someone of infiltrating the clan. Seong-ah menacingly declares the place will be the intruder's grave, terrifying the disguised figure. The male protagonist urgently corrects Seong-ah, revealing the perceived intruder is actually Seong-min. Seong-ah stares in utter confusion, questioning the surprising identity of the perceived intruder. Seong-ah's eye reveals her deep disbelief, still unable to recognize the disguised figure. The protagonist and Seong-ah look down at Choi Sung-min, now standing by the table. Servant Choi Sung-min looks surprised with radiating energy lines behind him. The protagonist expresses shock while Seong-ah covers his mouth, appearing to silence him. Traditional buildings are majestically set against snowy mountains, under a vibrant sunset sky. Incredible. A box of delicate macarons is displayed, with a caption exclaiming, "Incredible!" The protagonist holds a macaron, expressing profound surprise at its depth of flavor. The protagonist, Choi Sung-min and Seong-ah, stand together as the protagonist deduces the cause of Sung-min's recent weight gain. Choi Sung-min questions the protagonist's lack of experience with macarons, finding it more surprising. The protagonist explains to Choi Sung-min that his sheltered upbringing within the clan prevented him from trying such treats. Seong-ah thoughtfully licks her lips, reflecting on her own history as an orphan raised within the clan. Choi Sung-min excitedly informs the protagonist about an upcoming auction featuring a rare beast's corpse. Seong-ah looks at the protagonist with a curious and slightly surprised expression. A hand presents two auction invitations, asking if both are necessary for the protagonist. A hand confidently takes one of the invitations, signifying acceptance. Seong-ah smiles, suggesting it would be a waste not to use both invitations since they were obtained. The group stands in a sunlit traditional room, preparing to examine auction details. A busy modern city street is illuminated at night, indicating a change of setting. The nocturnal cityscape showcases glowing skyscrapers and a vast urban road network. A prominent skyscraper is identified as the Sword St. Clan Seoul branch, establishing a key location. Okay, I understand. Please provide the text you would like me to read back to you. Yes, that's right. A person reacts with surprise and a what to the news of the youngest young master arriving in Seoul. Lee Junwoo, the Sword Saint Clan Seoul branch manager, confirms over the phone he will immediately hasten preparations. Another modern building stands illuminated at night, contributing to the urban setting. A close-up reveals feet walking on a street, suggesting a journey or movement. The protagonist and Seong-ah walk through the city at night, drawing stares from other pedestrians. The protagonist notes people staring, while Seong-ah comments on his traditional attire, causing the attention. The protagonist cautions alertness, but Seong-ah dismisses it, suggesting he looks more suspicious. The protagonist and Seong-ah walk side by side, with the protagonist admitting the situation is not easy. A third character asks why instructor Seong-ah doesn't visit Seoul more often. The protagonist and Seong-ah discuss her last visit to Seoul, recalling it was when she became an instructor. The group stands on a city street, confirming Seong-ah's last Seoul visit was to update her instructor records. The protagonist ponders the Hunters Association with a thoughtful expression. A close-up of the protagonist's eye shows intense focus and contemplation. The protagonist gazes at a building, confirming it belongs to the Hunters Association. The protagonist and Seong-ah stand before the building, as Seong-ah explains it's a nominal organization. The protagonist maintains a contemplative side profile, seemingly deep in thought. Monsters and gates began appearing a few hundred years ago. Hunters are depicted fighting monsters, with text explaining they formed groups to fend them off. The protagonist and Seong-ah stand with their backs turned, observing the historical context. The protagonist's profile is shown, with text revealing that organizations like the Hunters Association are primarily profit-driven. The protagonist reveals to Seong-ah that black sects wield more influence than the government itself. Seong-ah reassures the protagonist that these worries are not for him, unlike normal hunters. The protagonist and Seong-ah stand facing each other, acknowledging the discussion. A sudden, sharp text bubble appears, adding the caveat, well, at least for now. Han Cheng-woo joins the Hunters Association. Potential changes may occur. A hand holds a folded document secured with a golden seal, signifying its importance. The protagonist, Seong-ah, and a female attendant stand in a hotel-like hallway. A hand presses the button for B5 on an elevator panel. The elevator display shows B6, indicating a descent to a deeper level. The protagonist stands in an elevator opening into a stark, red-lit underground hallway. Seong-ah reacts with wide-eyed shock at the unfolding events. The camera pans across a bustling, multi-level underground venue, filled with a diverse crowd. Elegant plates of food and desserts are showcased on a dining table within the bustling venue. Elegantly dressed guests mingle as a waiter's hand delivers refreshments. The protagonist and Seong-ah observe the grand underground space, marveling at its unexpected existence. The protagonist's surprised expression continues as he comments on the venue's abundant offerings. The protagonist and Seong-ah observe the crowd, recognizing many present as hunters. The protagonist and Seong-ah discuss the crowd, realizing their unified purpose for attending. The protagonist questions the auction's true nature, prompting Seong-ah to suggest a better vantage point. The charismatic auctioneer enthusiastically welcomes the eager crowd to the Somnium auction. The auctioneer announces that rare items from both this world and the other world are up for sale. The protagonist and Seong-ah listen as the auctioneer details items obtained from otherworld monsters. The protagonist's eyes widen in anticipation as an A-rank item from the dark region is revealed. A vibrant flash precedes the full reveal of the next auction item. The protagonist maintains a focused and contemplative expression as the auction progresses. A luminous magic skill book hovers, mesmerizing the audience. The auctioneer exultantly announces the appearance of the highly anticipated skill book. Seong-ah thoughtfully considers the skill book, noting its origin and expressing approval. Bidding for the skill book rapidly escalates from 100 million to 120 million won. The protagonist's eyes sparkle with intense interest, captivated by the escalating bids. Both the protagonist and Seong-ah gaze with glittering interest at the valuable item. Seong-ah ponders deeply, understanding the implications of the auction. The bidding climbs to 140 million as the protagonist muses on Seong-ah's innate magical talent. Seong-ah expresses frustration, realizing she needs to locate a forgotten artifact. Seong-ah looks on, anticipating that the main event is about to begin. The auctioneer announces soaring bids, quickly reaching 220 million won. A bidder confidently raises their paddle, displaying the number 18. A striking figure raises paddle 18, boldly announcing a 1 billion won bid. The spiky-haired bidder's intense gaze reveals his serious intentions. The intense bidder looks up, observing the protagonist and Seong-ah on the balcony. Seong-ah offers a knowing smirk, content with the unfolding events. The auctioneer joyfully announces the final, highly anticipated item of the auction. The auctioneer dramatically unveils the main attraction, a large covered object. The auctioneer teases the audience, revealing the item is a rare creature from Seorak Mountain. The main event is unveiled, the impressive white corpse of a snow tiger. The snow tiger's head pulsates with an ethereal blue energy, hinting at immense power. The protagonist gasps in awe, overwhelmed by the enormous mana radiating from the creature. The auctioneer boasts about the snow tiger's freshness and its perfectly preserved mana heart. An eager bidder impatiently demands the starting price of the magnificent snow tiger. The spiky-haired man waits patiently as the snow tiger's starting price is about to be announced. The auctioneer joyfully declares the snow tiger's starting bid is a staggering 1 billion won. Bidders furiously compete, rapidly pushing the snow tiger's price past 2 billion. The protagonist comments on the frantic bidding from above, while Seong-ah calmly agrees. Seong-ah glances back, acknowledging the snow tiger's immense value. The snow tiger's valuable parts, including its hide, teeth, and heart, are highlighted for their utility. Seong-ah raises her paddle twice, but another bidder suddenly leaps to an astounding 6 billion. The audacious 6 billion bid reverberates through the stunned auction hall. The protagonist looks on, wide-eyed and utterly shocked by the new bid. Seong-ah, with an unnervingly wide smile, holds up her bidding paddle, shocking the protagonist. The protagonist reacts with horror, questioning Seong-ah's extravagant use of clan funds. Seong-ah's companion frets over the extravagant 6 billion won bid, fearing the master's severe reaction. Seong-ah casually dismisses the immense sum, reassuring her worried companion that the money is insignificant. The companion remains anxious about the 6 billion bid, while whispers of shock ripple through the astonished crowd. Seong-ah and her companion discuss the soaring bids, now at 2 billion, as the companion still shows apprehension. The auction hall explodes with frantic bidding, rapidly pushing the price to 6.35 billion and then 6.45 billion. Seong-ah observes the relentless competition, noting that even such a high price won't deter bidders for the snow tiger. Seong-ah's companion timidly suggests caution with clan funds, but Seong-ah boldly declares an audacious 10 billion won bid. Seong-ah's companion stares in utter horror, sweat beading on his face, completely overwhelmed by the shocking new bid. The auctioneer exuberantly announces the incredible leap to 10 billion, marveling at the astonishing speed of the bids. The spiky-haired man acknowledges the 10 billion bid, pondering his next move in the intense bidding war. The spiky-haired man grimaces in frustration, sweating profusely under the pressure of the rapidly escalating auction. The spiky-haired man sits, arms crossed, conceding that the price is rising too quickly despite his own financial capacity. The spiky-haired man's gaze intensifies, his expression revealing the immense burden of the accelerating bid. The spiky-haired man glares toward the balcony, identifying the high bidder as a, quote, spoiled rich kid. Seong-ah turns her head slightly, contemplating the spiky-haired man's perception of her wealth and identity. Seong-ah grips her bidding paddle with a determined expression, unfazed by her competitor's implied wealth. The spiky-haired man defiantly raises his paddle, countering with a staggering 10. 2 billion won bid for the snow tiger. Seong-ah looks down, annoyed by her persistent opponent as she considers her next move. Seong-ah's companion looks on, utterly stunned, as Seong-ah casually places an astounding 15 billion won bid. Seong-ah's companion is completely petrified, his face cracking like stone from the overwhelming shock of the bid. The spiky-haired man's face contorts in disbelief and anger as the bid for the snow tiger leaps to 20 billion. Seong-ah's companion crumbles further, his expression frozen in complete and utter disbelief. The spiky-haired man slams his fist down, seething with frustration as the auction pushes him to his limit. The spiky-haired man stares in wide-eyed horror, reeling from the protagonist's casual 20 billion won bid. The spiky-haired man trembles, his hand gripping the paddle in desperate resolve to obtain the valuable item. Seong-ah watches the auctioneer, ready for the final countdown as the bidding approaches its conclusion. Seong-ah stands victorious, her paddle held high, as the auctioneer declares the 20 billion won snow tiger sold. The auctioneer happily concludes the main auction, announcing the end of the prepared items for the day. The auctioneer teases the audience, promising plenty of additional shows and entertainment following the main event. The scene transitions to a night view of a bustling city, its tall buildings illuminated against the dark sky. A small, mysterious pouch hovers, which the protagonist notes is conveniently holding the massive snow tiger corpse. The protagonist and Seong-ah walk together, discussing the surprising magic item that can contain the enormous creature. The protagonist looks at Seong-ah, thoughtfully addressing her as Instructor Han Seong-ah. Seong-ah's companion appears confused, questioning the protagonist about a word he just heard, straw. The protagonist asks her companion about his knowledge of the magic tower, beginning an important explanation. The protagonist explains that the magic tower is the world's strongest magic association, comparable to the Sword Saint clan. The protagonist and her companion walk, discussing the magic tower's demanding recognition process and intense training. The protagonist reveals that those who fall behind in the magic tower form a group known as stragglers. The protagonist explains that because the stragglers originate from the magic tower, they are often seen as a mercenary organization. The protagonist expresses her strong disagreement, stating she views the stragglers as something more than mercenaries. The protagonist adamantly states that the stragglers are more accurately described as a criminal organization. The protagonist explains that the stragglers become wildly obsessed with anything remotely connected to magic. A diverse group of figures stands facing the protagonist and Seong-ah, signifying a looming confrontation. The spiky-haired man, surrounded by a menacing aura, imperiously demands the snow tiger's corpse. Two unidentified men discuss their wealthy opponent, planning a quick robbery, believing him to be weak. Two unidentified men confirm they have cast a silence spell, ensuring their ambush proceeds without interruption. A close-up shot focuses on the protagonist's mouth as she prepares to speak to her assailants. The protagonist stares at her attackers with a piercing gaze, questioning if they truly understand whom they are confronting. The spiky-haired man dismisses the protagonist as merely a rich boy, unaware of her true power. The spiky-haired man commands his associates to attack, as their forms glow with activated magical power. The protagonist activates a powerful magical ability, creating a vibrant aura of energy. Seong-ah's companion watches intently as the protagonist prepares for action. Seong-ah unleashes a burst of protective blue energy, ready to engage the attackers. A powerful magical barrier protects the protagonist and Seong-ah from multiple incoming fiery attacks. The protagonist concentrates, channeling powerful magical energy into radiant orbs around him. The protagonist's gaze sharpens as he focuses his magical power, preparing a decisive move. An enemy collapses, realizing their coordinated attacks are completely ineffective against the hero's defenses. An attacker strains, attempting to break through the magical defense with his frustrated power. The protective barrier withstands a massive, fiery magical assault, leaving the heroes unharmed. The protagonist remains composed and focused, moving forward through the lingering magical flames. Seong-ah stands unfazed as a powerful explosion detonates, revealing the might of their defense. An attacker reacts with wide-eyed terror, realizing the protagonist has suddenly disappeared. The protagonist executes ghostly shadow steps, closing the distance instantly with incredible speed. The protagonist's fist glows with potent blue energy, poised for a devastating strike. The protagonist launches a swift, powerful kick, sending an attacker flying through the air. Ice shards erupt from the ground, trapping several attackers while the protagonist continues his assault. The attackers are overwhelmed, their legs suddenly frozen solid by an unexpected ice attack. The spiky-haired man stares in shock and fear as his subordinate questions their plan. The spiky-haired man's face contorts in desperate realization, sensing something is terribly wrong. Trapped in ice, the spiky-haired man realizes their defeat is imminent against such an unforeseen skill. The spiky-haired man panics, deciding to call for desperate reinforcements while commanding his men to stall. A trapped attacker shouts in disbelief at the spiky-haired man's absurd command. The spiky-haired man abandons his trapped allies, fleeing in cowardly retreat. The protagonist silently watches the aftermath as the spiky-haired man flees, leaving his allies abandoned. The protagonist identifies the fleeing man as an officer, entrusting Seong-ah with the remaining attackers. Seong-ah calmly acknowledges the protagonist's request, confirming her readiness to handle the situation. Seong-ah stands ready for battle, illuminated by a spotlight, facing the frozen attackers. Under the full moon, the protagonist reflects on the rapid and surprising mastery of a recent skill. The protagonist marvels at his own uncanny proficiency with the recently acquired skill. The protagonist ponders his own unrecognized genius and mysterious breadth of worldly knowledge. The protagonist contemplates his vast knowledge, including the mysterious straggler organization. A frozen attacker desperately urges his allies to break free, emphasizing their peril. A trapped attacker unleashes a desperate wave of fire towards Seong-ah. The fiery magical attack hurtles through the air with destructive intent. A swift, glowing sword strike effortlessly slices through the incoming fiery attack. Seong-ah stands ready, her sword poised, after expertly bisecting the fiery attack. The remaining attackers stare in stunned disbelief as Seong-ah effortlessly cuts through their magic. An attacker recognizes the distinct sword technique, realizing its dangerous implications. Seong-ah moves swiftly, her formidable sword technique hinting at her powerful clan origins. Seong-ah delivers a swift, decisive strike, incapacitating one of the desperate attackers. Seong-ah stands triumphant over the defeated foe, emphasizing the danger of messing with the powerful. The full moon shines over the serene night sky, signaling a narrative transition. A foot steps into a puddle, creating ripples as someone moves quietly. The spiky-haired man reacts with wide-eyed shock and disbelief. The spiky-haired man flees into a building, leaving a magical book behind. A hand reaches down to retrieve the magical book left behind by the fleeing man. The protagonist stands, holding the retrieved book, observing the building ahead. The protagonist confirms that they have found the location of the enemy's hidden base. The protagonist notes the enemy's base frequently changes locations, making it difficult to trace. The protagonist, holding a device, appears unconcerned about the fluid base locations. The protagonist, holding a magical book, ominously demands those hiding to reveal themselves. The protagonist confidently declares that his allies will now take control of the situation. Lee Junwoo, the Sword Saint clan's sole manager, respectfully greets the protagonist, ready for orders. The protagonist confirms the situation, asking if the fleeing man entered this very building. Lee Junwoo confirms no civilians are detected inside, maintaining a professional demeanor. The protagonist's expression hardens as he issues a ruthless command to eliminate everyone. The protagonist's subordinates obediently acknowledge his grim order to kill everyone. The protagonist stands silently on the street, lost in contemplation. The protagonist muses on his subordinate's performative show of being called to the scene. The protagonist realizes his clan's hidden surveillance, ensuring his safety even when alone. The protagonist deduces his clan secretly sent the Soul Branch to discreetly escort him. A sharp realization confirms the protagonist's suspicions about the clan's actions. The dazzling environment emphasizes the powerful advantages gained by choosing a difficult path. The protagonist stands confidently, seemingly reveling in the benefits of his chosen path. The protagonist smirks with satisfaction, openly declaring his love for absolute authority. The aftermath reveals a brutal scene, with defeated bodies lying amidst pools of blood. Sounds of pain and splatters of blood indicate a brutal, one-sided combat. The bloodied, spiky-haired man stares in terror, desperately demanding his attacker's identity. The injured man, bewildered and frustrated, demands to know why they are being attacked. Lee Junwoo remains silently impassive, offering no answer to the desperate plea. Lee Junwoo looms over the defeated foe, about to reveal his true identity. Lee Junwoo stands triumphant, proudly proclaiming their identity as the Sword Saint clan. The spiky-haired man stares blankly, utterly stunned by the revelation. The injured man bursts into disbelieving laughter, mocking his powerful assailants. The spiky-haired man scoffs, questioning why the prestigious Sword Saint clan is not at their usual mountain home. A brutal blow silences the spiky-haired man's mockery, leaving him in pain. Lee Junwoo sternly warns the downed man to show respect to the young master. A dark warning promises much harsher consequences for future disrespect. The protagonist confirms the complete incapacitation of all remaining enemies. The protagonist orders the last foe secured before moving to basement level 3. Lee Junwoo, tending to the injured man, questions the protagonist's order to proceed to basement level 3. Lee Junwoo looks perplexed, wondering why they are going to a floor supposedly already cleared. A mysterious, vast library with towering bookshelves is bathed in a serene blue light. Someone observes the extensive library, surprised by its hidden depths. A glowing magical orb suggests a hidden magical space within the library. The speaker trails off, building suspense about the hidden room's contents. The hidden space is revealed to be a clandestine collection of powerful magic items. Lee Junwoo apologizes for failing to find the hidden room, but the protagonist kindly reassures him. Lee Junwoo secretly questions how the protagonist knew about this highly secretive location. The protagonist searches for an item, while his subordinate observes his remarkable changes. The protagonist exclaims victory, having found the sought-after item. The protagonist triumphantly reveals the ancient magic circle of training. A system notification displays the discovery of an A-rank magic circle of training. Detailed information explains the ancient magic circle's powerful mana and focused training abilities. The protagonist assesses the magic circle's widespread potential, despite its low rank. The protagonist's gaze sharpens as his thoughts turn to other plans. The protagonist orders Lee Junwoo to take the injured Javen back with them. The protagonist reveals Javen will be a valuable present for the upcoming Magic Tower visitors. A startling realization dawns about the protagonist's strategic decision to spare his foe. Lee Junwoo stares in awe, realizing the protagonist's deep strategic foresight involving the Magic Tower. The bound Javen is revealed as a straggler sought by Magic Towers, making him a strategic offering. Lee Junwoo reflects on the protagonist's strategic mind, realizing he far exceeds expectations and rumors. A realization dawns that the protagonist's transformation led the clan to acknowledge his arrival in Seoul. The protagonist stands with his back to the viewer, confirming his newfound acknowledgement as a potential clan successor. A system notification proudly announces a completed quest, rewarding the protagonist with 200 points. An ornate building entrance, marked by distinct characters, promises new discoveries within. A hand knocks confidently on a door, announcing entry to the young master's presence. The protagonist converses with Instructor Han Seonga, who arrives, questioning if he was summoned. Instructor Han Seonga stares in wide-eyed surprise, reacting to an unexpected sight. Instructor Han Seonga points to discarded books, questioning the protagonist about their unusual state. The protagonist casually explains he discarded all the books after finishing them. The protagonist presents a mystical blue book adorned with an intricate magical pentagram. Instructor Han Seonga gazes in wide-eyed astonishment at the sparkling magical book. The protagonist offers the mystical book to Instructor Han Cheong-ah, recalling his previous interest. The protagonist warmly insists Instructor Han Seong-ah accept the book, citing a gender-specific usage limitation. Instructor Han Seong-ah remains hesitant, despite the alluring magical glow from the book. The protagonist's sharp gaze suggests a moment of silent observation or contemplation. A hidden message urges the recipient to conceal their true emotions. Instructor Han Seong-ah's face glows with undisguised delight and excitement. The protagonist sternly demands Instructor Han Seong-ah accept the book, threatening to destroy it if refused. Two hands exchange the magical book, as Instructor Han Seong-ah gratefully accepts it. Instructor Han Seong-ah shyly clutches the new book, as the protagonist begins to plan ahead. Instructor Han Seong-ah clears his throat, attempting to gain the protagonist's attention. The protagonist holds a rolled scroll, looking perplexed about its mysterious function. The protagonist admits confusion about the item, yet expresses unwavering trust in Instructor Han Seong-ah. The protagonist beams excitedly as Instructor Han Seong-ah inquires if his new item is a magic circle. The protagonist hands over the mysterious scroll, admitting ignorance about its purpose, but revealing its origin. Instructor Han Seong-ah identifies the scroll as a consumable item and offers to install it for the protagonist. Instructive text details the simple process of installing the magical scroll. Instructor Han Seong expertly infuses mana into the glowing magical scroll. A powerful magic circle materializes around Instructor Han Seong-ah, glowing with ethereal energy. The protagonist expresses surprise at the mana cost, despite claiming prior knowledge of the magic circle's activation. The protagonist explains the magic circle's mana cost and reusability, prompting Instructor Han Seong-ah to ask about its function. Instructor Han Seong-ah confirms the magic circle aids mana training, and the protagonist generously grants him usage. The protagonist and Instructor Han Seong-ah prepare to test the newly installed magic circle. The protagonist observes his renovated private study, noting the significant changes. A new character arrives, informing the protagonist and Instructor Han Seong-ah that Magic Tower guests are due tomorrow. The protagonist reacts to the Magic Tower guests' unexpected early arrival, confirming their purpose. The short-haired man confirms the protagonist's awareness, then drops a bombshell about his ex-fiance's arrival. The protagonist reacts with utter shock and confusion to the unexpected news about his ex-fiancé. The protagonist confronts a long-haired woman, hearing her familiar greeting, "It's been a while." The protagonist stares with intense agitation as the name Jin Seo-yin causes a profound reaction. A bleak, fiery landscape depicts a catastrophic future with a lone, forlorn figure amidst destruction. In a desolate red wasteland, a hand reaches out towards a person's leg. A wounded protagonist desperately screams amidst a ruined, blood-red cityscape, urging someone to calm down. An elaborate, glowing red magic circle expands, crackling with immense power. A commanding figure with glowing eyes stands before a colossal red magic circle, radiating immense power. The protagonist stares in horrified disbelief at overwhelming power, questioning its very legitimacy. The protagonist grimly acknowledges an opponent's overwhelming strength, cut off mid-sentence. A devastating magical explosion rips through a city, leaving widespread destruction in its wake. A burst of intense, explosive energy erupts, filling the scene with overwhelming power and a resonant sound. The overwhelming surge of fiery energy dissipates, leaving behind an afterimage of intense power. Game Over flashes on the screen, accompanied by a keyboard violently tossed, highlighting the player's furious defeat. The player sits slumped before twin screens, sighing in disappointment over yet another failed attempt. The powerful Jin Seon, the second main character and future master of the Magic Tower, makes a striking introduction amidst ruins. A distraught Jin Seon is revealed, a broken character destined to turn evil if a critical quest fails. The protagonist grapples with the shocking revelation of his fiancé's dangerous potential, questioning reality with wide eyes. The protagonist and two others discuss the game's changing settings, noting that this current unexpected scenario has never happened before. The protagonist gazes into the distance, pondering the unsettling possibility of even more unknown setting changes. The protagonist reflects on past game experiences, where the ability to restart made stakes feel inconsequential. The protagonist floats in a stark, crystalline void, starkly realizing that death here is terrifyingly final. A distressed Yoo Baekjun realizes his identity and credits his survival to his extensive game knowledge. Yoo Baekjun reaches towards a glowing scroll, questioning the existence of game settings he's unaware of. A critical question arises, pondering if new game settings were implemented upon his transmigration. A moment of tense realization hangs in the air, contemplating the grave implications of his hypothesis. A concerned aide checks on the troubled protagonist, who expresses exasperation over his current predicament. The protagonist casually confirms the arrival of guests in the morning, indicating a shift in focus. The protagonist instructs his aide to prepare for tomorrow's guests, emphasizing the need for readiness. A peaceful night descends upon the traditional structure, bathed in the soft glow of the full moon. The protagonist sits in deep meditation, cultivating power within a glowing magic circle using a unique technique. With eyes closed, the protagonist resolves to methodically confront and organize the challenges before him. The protagonist ponders unpredictable elements and his intricate, dangerous connection with Jin Seo-yeon. The protagonist reflects on the frustrating impossibility of acquiring certain crucial pieces of information. The protagonist sits in thoughtful contemplation, surrounded by a soft, ethereal blue aura. A definitive realization emerges, signaling a crucial point of unwavering certainty for the protagonist. The protagonist realizes that clearing the game as Yoo Baekjun is his best chance to return home. A hand clenches with grim determination, signifying a critical, unavoidable decision has been made. With a surge of newfound resolve, the protagonist dynamically rises, ready to face his challenge. The protagonist walks away, resolute in his mission to survive and ultimately clear the game. The protagonist looks ahead with grim resolve, acknowledging his current limitations and his best path forward. A determined step signals his immediate need to gather more information before acting. The scene transitions to a grand, snow-covered mountain landscape, housing a traditional building under a foreboding sky. A new day dawns bright and clear, with sunlight piercing through the light clouds. The protagonist stands in a snowy landscape, letting out a weary sigh under the morning sun. The protagonist, amidst a gathering in the snow, expresses his blunt frustration at the situation. Yoon Yebin, Yoo Jung-yeon's aide, answers a question about the father's location in the training room. The group discusses the father's decision to delegate the meeting of guests to the protagonist. A voice confirms Jin Seo-yeon's impending arrival amidst the serene, snow-laden trees. The protagonist contemplatively questions the purpose of exploring this remote mountain region. A group stands on a transportation circle, ready for a journey between the Sword Saint clan and Magic Tower. The protagonist observes someone who has seemingly arrived earlier, noting their presence with a calm demeanor. The protagonist and his group steadily approach new figures, initiating an anticipated encounter. A female figure looks toward him, acknowledging Yoo Baekjun's presence with a direct address. Yoo Baekjun and his sister exchange greetings, marking a reunion between the siblings. An aide confirms that instructor Han Seonga has now become a personal instructor. Yoo Jong-yeon pointedly questions a past statement, hinting at a change in someone's allegiance. The aide looks noticeably uncomfortable and speechless, put on the spot by the sharp question. Yoo Baekjun makes a wry observation about the ease with which people's allegiances can change. Yoo Baekjun confidently remarks that the instructor favored him over his sister, a subtle jab. A glowing abstract panel signals a dramatic pause, implying a strong, unstated sentiment. A mysterious individual, surrounded by purple energy, finds a remark quite intriguing. Two companions observe their surroundings with expressions of quiet apprehension in the snowy woods. The long-haired individual stands calmly, observing the bright, snowy landscape ahead. In a bright, snow-covered forest, a gathering of individuals faces a lone figure, creating an expectant atmosphere. With a dismissive thought, a character steps onto the snow, moving forward. The long-haired figure thoughtfully decides against proceeding, believing the timing is not right. 3 onlookers react with alarm as a powerful magic circle begins to activate before them. A brilliant blue magic circle pulses with energy, its intricate patterns illuminating the surroundings. The protagonist confidently reassures his companion, dispelling any nervousness in the snowy environment. The protagonist resolves to approach the situation with the same focus and strategy as in a game. Figures are enveloped in swirling blue energy, indicating a rapid movement or powerful transformation. A character thoughtfully observes the glowing magic circle beneath their boots. A pensive individual considers the necessity of a timely checkup for themselves. A character expresses mild dissatisfaction, finding the environment surprisingly dusty. Jin Seo-yeon, the confident successor of the Magic Tower, makes a striking entrance with her retinue. Jin Seo-yeon, the Magic Tower successor, declares her surroundings too dusty upon her grand arrival. The protagonist, kneeling by a magic circle, greets Jin Seo-yeon warmly after a long separation. Jin Seo-yeon graciously recalls their last meeting and expresses pleasure at the other's well-being. Jin Seo-yeon and her male acquaintance engage in playful banter, exchanging compliments. The male companion reacts with a puzzled, as the long-haired character shifts. Jin Seo-yeon's expression shifts to wide-eyed surprise, processing a new realization. The protagonist observes Jin Seo-yeon's group, noting another familiar face from his past. A determined step lands firmly upon the fresh, white snow. The protagonist and Jin Seo-yeon stand face to face, a silent tension hanging between them. The protagonist offers an awkward greeting to Seo-yeon, acknowledging their long separation. Jin Seo-yeon reacts with surprise, questioning the informal address of her name. Jin Seo-yeon's surprise turns to disbelief over the informal way she was addressed. The protagonist looks panicked and distressed, questioning if his address was incorrect. A sudden realization hits, creating a dramatic pause. Jin Seo-yeon's face darkens, reacting with palpable anger to the term Nuna. The protagonist's face contorts in terror, realizing the gravity of his mistake. Standing alone in the snow, the protagonist internally despairs over his dire predicament. An off-panel voice reminisces about the once amicable relationship between the two individuals. The female companion confirms that Jin Seo-yeon also previously held some affection for him. The protagonist inquires about his past estrangement, learning it wasn't due to a fight. The female character advises the protagonist to seek a physician for his memory loss. Jin Seo-yeon unleashes her fury on Han Seong-ah, accusing him of misleading her about their past relationship. The protagonist, resigned to his own methods, redirects the conversation to Seorak Mountain. Jin Seo-yeon confirms her objective with a resolute expression. Jin Seo-yeon manifests her cold, star-shaped power, crystalline fragments shimmering around her hand. Jin Seo-yeon confidently states her intention to cultivate a newly acquired power. Jin Seo-yeon reveals her goal to train mana in the mountain's coldest depths, which the protagonist understands. The protagonist deduces Jin Seo-yeon requires a guide to the mountain's coldest regions. The master inquires about who will be guiding Jin Seo-yeon on her quest. The master explains the clan's plan for a guide, prompting the protagonist to offer his own services. The master expresses doubt, questioning the protagonist's ability to navigate the mountain. The protagonist confidently claims hidden knowledge of an extremely cold location, thanks to his scholarly nature. The master reluctantly agrees to the protagonist's offer, secretly relieved to avoid the task herself. The master instructs Han Seong-ah to guide them, and he readily agrees. Jin Seo-yeon expresses surprise and impatience, questioning if they will not depart immediately. The protagonist gazes thoughtfully, a slight knowing smirk playing on his lips. A picturesque view of a traditional village nestles below towering, snow-covered mountains. A bound and gagged man displays a look of intense fear and desperation. Han Seong-ah and the protagonist observe the bound man with serious expressions. Jin Seo-yeon, the Magic Tower successor, expresses surprise at encountering an unexpected individual. The bound man internally pleads for release, terrified of being taken to the Magic Tower. Their departure is delayed until tomorrow morning due to the dangers of night travel. The protagonist subtly implies there are additional reasons for delaying their departure. The protagonist sits cross-legged, preparing for the journey with a glowing magical book. The protagonist reviews his Friend of Ice Spirits trait, considering how it aids his quest. A system notification confirms the Friend of Ice Spirits trait, acknowledging his connection to them. The protagonist notes that while not impressive, the trait is crucial for the Tears of the Snowy Plains quest. Text warns that some world events can become catastrophic if not handled at the correct time. A ferocious purple energy snow tiger looms, confirming it's a Tears of the Snow Tiger disaster. The protagonist resolves to defeat the evil spirit of the snow tiger while it remains weak. The protagonist reflects on needing more points for skills and plans to earn them after his current quest. Text explains the upgraded achievement system grants points for unlocking new achievements. The protagonist realizes he must increase his mastery of Martial God's Book to activate the achievement system. The protagonist lies exhausted on his bed, overwhelmed by the multitude of tasks ahead. A new day dawns over the snow-covered mountains, signaling the start of their journey. Jin So-yeon breathes out, commenting on the cold weather as they begin their journey. Jin So-yeon questions if they are departing immediately, and is met with an affirmative. Jin So-yeon looks on with a hint of concern regarding their sudden departure. Jin Se-yeon questions the protagonist about his surprisingly large, unneeded backpack. The protagonist reacts with a puzzled sound to Jin Se-yeon's inquiry. The protagonist cryptically states that the purpose of his large bag will be revealed later. Jin Se-yeon looks back, still questioning the protagonist's ambiguous response. The protagonist, with his large pack, looks onward with a determined expression. The protagonist turns, offering a slight, confident smile to Jin Se-yeon. The protagonist and Jin Se-yeon step through a grand gateway, embarking on their snowy journey. The two companions begin their trek through a dense, snow-covered forest. The protagonist and Jin Se-yeon walk deeper into the silent, snow-laden woods. Jin Se-yeon observes that the worsening snowstorm is severely limiting her visibility. Jin Se-yeon expresses concern that the blizzard prevents her from protecting Baekjun from monsters. The protagonist walks ahead, seemingly oblivious to the approaching wolves behind him. Jin Se-yeon's eyes widen in sudden shock, having spotted something alarming. Jin Se-yeon urgently warns the protagonist about a threat directly behind him. The protagonist instinctively grabs the snout of a lunging wolf with incredible speed. The protagonist effortlessly holds the aggressive wolf by its snout, subduing it instantly. The protagonist pins the struggling wolf down with immense force, demonstrating his power. Jin Se-yeon looks back, surprised and disoriented by the sudden events. The protagonist apologizes for not hearing her, blaming the sound of the snowstorm. Jin Se-yeon watches the protagonist, who remains crouched by the subdued wolf. The protagonist questions Jin Se-yeon about her reaction, unconcerned about the wolf. Jin Se-yeon appears confused by the protagonist's calm demeanor regarding their situation. Jin Se-yeon's gaze sharpens as she spots a group of figures in the snowy distance. A monstrous, red-eyed creature declares it detects the scent of humans. A large, menacing monster asserts that the smell of human flesh is delicious. The monster is violently struck by an unseen force, its face splattered with blood. Several humanoid figures are seen moving with rapid, powerful strides through the snow. A powerful blue energy blast strikes a monster, causing it to bleed profusely while other figures charge. A large, menacing monster with glowing red eyes observes a smaller, fallen foe in a snowy landscape. A close-up reveals the monstrous face, glowing eyes, and sharp fangs of the creature, exuding a predatory aura. Jin Se-yeon looks startled, expressing concern about the overwhelming number of enemies as magic gathers in her hand. A horde of gray monsters charges fiercely through the snowy terrain, emanating a dark, aggressive energy. Jin Se-yeon stands empowered, manifesting a colossal and intricate magical circle of vibrant red energy. Jin Se-yeon unleashes a torrent of blinding, intense flames from her powerful magical incantation. monstrous foe is instantly engulfed by a swirling, destructive vortex of Jin Seoyeon's scorching fire magic. Jin Seoyeon continues to unleash a devastating firestorm, completely overwhelming and incinerating the charging monsters. The protagonist reacts with astonishment, acknowledging Jin Seoyeon's insane and destructive power. The protagonist observes Jin Seoyeon's formidable display, internally noting her immense, almost unbalanced strength. The protagonist crouches by the subdued wolf, contemplating Jin Seoyeon's powerful magical display. A pack of fierce wolves, their eyes glowing ominously, silently emerges from the snowy forest behind them. The protagonist realizes more monsters are being attracted, observing the growing number of incoming threats. Jin Seoyeon lets out a cry of alarm, her eyes widening as she spots a new, unseen threat approaching. Jin Seoyeon unleashes a burst of fire magic, fending off the aggressive wolves lunging towards them. A powerful impact sends the attacking wolves flying back, creating a shockwave through the snow. The protagonist retaliates with a swift, powerful blue energy strike, impacting an unseen enemy with force. Jin Seoyeon continues her fiery assault while the protagonist confronts another wolf, fighting effectively together. The protagonist stands firm over a subdued wolf, as Jin Seoyeon continues to unleash powerful fire magic in the background. A massive, scarred wolf with glowing orange eyes appears, asserting its dominance as the pack leader. The protagonist expresses frustration at the arrival of the formidable wolf pack leader, acknowledging the escalating challenge. The protagonist confidently declares he will handle the remaining monsters, addressing Jin Seoyeon. Jin Seoyeon looks concerned, questioning the protagonist's decision due to the sheer number of enemies. A monstrous, red-eyed creature charges forward through the burning landscape with a furious roar. Jin Seoyeon unleashes a continuous stream of fire magic, directly engaging the charging monster. Jin Seoyeon maintains her magical assault, directing intense waves of fire toward the approaching threats. The scene dissolves into a chaotic, blood-red abstract, symbolizing the intense and decisive conclusion of the battle. The protagonist stands calmly over a defeated wolf amidst the snowy, fiery aftermath of the intense battle. The protagonist pauses, wiping his face, contemplating the situation after the fierce engagement. The protagonist looks thoughtfully into the snow-covered distance, reflecting on recent events. The protagonist smiles knowingly as the devastation of the battlefield, strewn with defeated foes, comes into view. The protagonist praises Jin Seoyeon, acknowledging her overwhelming magical prowess in single-handedly defeating the enemies. The protagonist suggests they rest after their successful and exhausting battle, to which Jin Seoyeon readily agrees. The protagonist hands Jin Seoyeon a bottle, offering her a mana recovery potion. The protagonist explains the potion will help Jin Seoyeon recover her mana after using so much magic. Jin Seoyeon looks surprised by the protagonist's thoughtful gesture and unexpected concern. The protagonist looks taken aback as Jin Seoyeon comments on his apparent change in demeanor. The protagonist is flustered, internally questioning if he made a mistake or misread the situation. Jin Seoyeon playfully remarks on the protagonist's perceived arrogance, recalling his past behavior. The protagonist seems confused, asking Jin Seoyeon about her reference to his burdens. Jin Seoyeon reminds the protagonist of their past shared worries, causing him to react with sudden realization. The protagonist recalls Jin Seoyeon's past emotional struggles, particularly concerning her father's expectations. The protagonist expresses a clear understanding, indicating he has grasped the full implication of their past conversations. The Magic Tower boasts a unique structure where succession is open to everyone, unlike traditional clans. Jin Seoyeon's past burden stems from her father's high expectations as the Magic Tower's current master. The protagonist internally decides to change the subject, sensing the discussion about their past has become dangerous. The protagonist suggests they resume their journey, surprising Jin Seoyeon with his eagerness. The protagonist reassures Jin Seoyeon that their destination is near and they will arrive quickly. The protagonist confidently offers to lead the way forward, taking charge of their continued journey. Jin Seoyeon quietly follows the protagonist through the snowy landscape, lost in thought. Jin Seoyeon reflects on a past comment that the protagonist lacked talent, Jin So-yeon inwardly questions how to reconcile the protagonist's impressive abilities with past assessments. The snowy terrain is littered with debris and scorched earth from the recent battle, marking their path. A serene, snowy mountain range with evergreen trees extends into the crisp, cold distance. The protagonist and Jin So-yeon continue their journey deeper into the snow-covered forest. The protagonist announces their arrival at the destination, surprising Jin So-yeon. The protagonist senses an anomaly at the massive, glowing ice formation, declaring something is present. Jin So-yeon expresses confusion and asks where here is, perceiving nothing unusual. Jin So-yeon and the protagonist gaze at a peculiar, indistinct object in the distance. The protagonist internally praises Jin So-yeon's sharp intuition as she suggests investigating the strange object. Jin So-yeon casts a detection spell, her eye glowing with powerful blue energy as she concentrates. Jin So-yeon's magic radiates outwards, revealing hidden elements within the icy terrain. Several small, spiky, spherical creatures are revealed, some with faint, glowing eyes. Jin So-yeon questions the nature of the newly revealed creatures as the protagonist corrects her. The tiny, spiky creatures debate if the protagonist is a friend or foe, some advocating for banishing him. Jin So-yeon asks for clarification on the creature's identity, still uncertain about the protagonist's statement. The protagonist identifies the creatures as a type of fairy, triggering a system notification about a spirit-friendly trait. The ice spirits cheerfully recognize the protagonist as a friend while he identifies them. The protagonist explains the ice spirit's duty of guiding dead souls to the spirit realm. The protagonist questions why the ice spirits are in such a desolate and unusual location. The ice spirits sadly reveal that their home was destroyed and a friend was killed by scary individuals. Jin So-yeon deduces that the deceased fairy's spirit cannot pass on, remaining trapped. Jin So-yeon feels a sense of unease, finding these fairies different from any she has encountered before. The ice spirits explain that their friend, a snow tiger, lingers in a cave, consumed by regret and anger. The protagonist offers his assistance to the distressed ice spirits regarding their friend. The ice spirits ask for the snow tiger's body to cleanse its evil spirit, offering to handle the cleansing themselves. The ice spirits confirm they will handle the cleansing, expecting the protagonist to subdue the spirit. The protagonist surprises the spirits by revealing he conveniently possesses the snow tiger's body already. The protagonist grins confidently, confirming he brought the snow tiger's body. Jin So-yeon looks startled, realizing the protagonist's true, pre-planned purpose for their journey. Jin So-yeon confronts the protagonist, questioning if he intentionally brought her to aid the spirits. The protagonist looks flustered, denying he used her as Jin So-yeon questions his bringing the corpse. The ice spirits eagerly point towards a glowing cave entrance, indicating the spirit's location. The ice spirits declare they cannot enter, urging the protagonist to subdue the snow tiger and release its spirit. The protagonist acknowledges the difficulty of the situation, recognizing it as worse than anticipated. Jin So-yeon wryly remarks on the protagonist's shamelessness for expecting her help. Jin So-yeon internally admits that, despite her annoyance, the location is ideal for mana cultivation. Jin So-yeon senses the chilling, potent mana, realizing the location's immense value for her training. Jin So-yeon confirms her internal assessment, recognizing the area as perfect for her abilities. The protagonist suggests they begin, but Jin So-yeon advises making preparations beforehand. The protagonist explains that thorough preparation is necessary due to the formidable opponent they face. Jin So-yeon expresses surprise at the protagonist's large collection of self-made potions. The protagonist offers Jin So-yeon a mana recovery potion and instructs her on using a scroll. Jin So-yeon is astonished as the potion rapidly increases her mana and speeds up her recovery rate. Jin So-yeon muses that the protagonist's talents extend far beyond just martial arts. The protagonist asks if Jin So-yeon is ready, as she reflects on his considerable growth. A powerful, ominous purple aura pulsates from deep within the icy cave. The terrifying snow tiger spirit with glowing red eyes emerges, radiating malevolent energy. The protagonist expresses relief that the snow tiger spirit remains unaware of their presence, confirming the setup is complete. The protagonist's mana surges, manifesting powerful enhancements around his boots as he prepares. The protagonist crouches, preparing his next move as Jin Se-yeon observes in the icy cavern. A powerful manifestation scroll is revealed, capable of conjuring spirit-class monsters within a boundary. The protagonist explains the immense challenge of facing the Snow Tiger's malevolent spirit. The protagonist crouches intently, activating the powerful manifestation scroll amidst glowing circles. The scroll unleashes immense green energy, pulling the malevolent Snow Tiger spirit fully into the physical realm. The terrifying Snow Tiger spirit fully manifests, its red eyes blazing with raw, ominous power. Jin Se-yeon concentrates, her hand glowing with potent blue mana, preparing to act. Jin Se-yeon unleashes a powerful binding spell, her eyes fixed on the target, declaring, "Bind." Jin Se-yeon levitates, conjuring powerful magical chains to ensnare the spirit. The furious Snow Tiger spirit is tightly bound by Jin Se-yeon's glowing chains, struggling fiercely. The Snow Tiger's eye glows malevolently as it strains against the magical restraint. The monstrous Snow Tiger spirit roars, testing the limits of Jin Se-yeon's binding chains. Jin Se-yeon grimaces, admitting she cannot hold the powerful spirit for much longer. The protagonist glows with intense blue energy, preparing to launch his attack. The protagonist activates the magic circle of mana amplification and Heaven Breaker, readying his full power. The protagonist unleashes a powerful fiery attack, engulfing the area in destructive flames. The Snow Tiger spirit is engulfed in the protagonist's blazing inferno, yet remains bound. Amidst a raging inferno, the protagonist and Jin Se-yeon maintain their offensive posture. Jin Se-yeon maintains her grip on the chains as the protagonist urgently calls her name. Jin Se-yeon, eyes sharp, warns the protagonist that something powerful is coming. The Snow Tiger spirit roars with renewed vigor, its power surging and a purple field surrounding it. The magical chains shatter, signaling the Snow Tiger's imminent escape and surging power. Jin Se-yeon clutches her chest in pain as her binding spell breaks, allowing the spirit to move. The colossal Snow Tiger spirit lunges forward, preparing a devastating blow. The protagonist leaps backward, narrowly dodging a powerful attack from the enraged spirit. The protagonist grimly states that every single one of the spirit's attacks is lethal. The protagonist faces the terrifying spirit, aware that a single scratch could be fatal. Jin Se-yeon swiftly casts gravity amplification to counter the malevolent Snow Tiger spirit. The Snow Tiger spirit is pressed down by immense gravity, its raw power evident in its struggle. The Snow Tiger roars in defiance, struggling fiercely against the crushing gravity. The Snow Tiger unleashes a devastating blast of energy from its maw. Jin Se-yeon looks startled, identifying the spirit's powerful breath attack. The ground cracks as the protagonist vows to stop the incoming attack. The protagonist delivers a powerful whirlwind kick directly to the Snow Tiger's face. The protagonist shows surprise at the minimal impact of his powerful kick on the spirit. The relentless Snow Tiger spirit retaliates, forcing the protagonist to dodge its fierce assault. Jin Se-yeon executes a timely teleport as they realize the spirit recovers too quickly. Jin Se-yeon turns to the protagonist, questioning their next strategy against the powerful spirit. The protagonist smirks confidently, suggesting they just keep attacking the spirit even more. The Snow Tiger spirit roars in absolute fury, its eyes blazing red and mouth crackling. The protagonist delivers a powerful strike, infused with attribute manifestation to the spirit. The protagonist acknowledges his initial attack wasn't enough, readying for more. With a determined grin, the protagonist unleashes a powerful double strike. The protagonist rapidly bombards the Snow Tiger with a flurry of powerful, shocking blows. The protagonist urgently calls out to Jin Se-yeon, coordinating their next move. Small spirit companion casts a powerful inferno spell from within a blazing magic circle. A massive wall of flames erupts, engulfing the Snow Tiger spirit in a fiery explosion. The battlefield is consumed by a blinding, fiery explosion, signaling immense power. Despite the massive flames, the snow tiger spirit endures, causing the protagonist to curse. Jin So-yeon questions the ongoing effectiveness of their plan, but the protagonist confidently assures her it is working. The protagonist explains that the snow tiger is a unique spirit beast capable of manipulating souls. A serene image shows the snow tiger, naturally a guide for souls to the spirit realm, surrounded by snowflakes. A diagram reveals the snow tiger's ability to endlessly recover from damage by absorbing nearby souls. Jin So-yeon asks for their next move, and the protagonist instructs her to focus on the snow tiger. The snow tiger now pulses with malevolent purple energy, signaling its corrupted state and use of souls for attacks. The snow tiger's power surges as it fully enters its terrifying second phase. The colossal snow tiger unleashes its terrifying, evil spirit calling, filling the cavern with ominous purple energy. Sinister, shadowy hands with glowing red eyes emerge from the swirling purple energy, indicating new threats. A horde of horrifying, shadowy evil spirits with glowing red eyes emerges from the depths. A close-up shows a newly formed, monstrous evil spirit with a terrifying, glowing red face. The protagonist and Jin So-yeon confront the overwhelming swarm of malevolent, newly summoned evil spirits. Jin So-yeon looks startled and questions if the newly appeared entities are undead. The protagonist clarifies that these are corrupted souls from Mount Seorak, transformed into evil spirits as the snow tiger's second phase. The protagonist reveals his past experience with this quest, having repeatedly witnessed the snow tiger creating evil spirits. The protagonist expresses confidence, stating he learned how to handle these evil spirits from his past encounters. The protagonist unleashes a swift, devastating fiery blast, aiming directly at the enemy horde. His powerful fiery attack engulfs the evil spirits, causing them to explode into bursts of flame. Jin So-yeon prepares her own counterattack, conjuring a glowing magic circle and declaring, "Flame Arrow!" Jin So-yeon expresses frustration that, despite their attacks, there are simply too many evil spirits. Jin So-yeon urgently questions Yoo Baekjun's strategy, but he assures her he came prepared for this. Jin So-yeon appears vexed, wondering why the protagonist didn't use his secret weapon sooner. Jin So-yeon looks on with a wide-eyed expression of shock and realization. The protagonist reveals a powerful, wide-area holy magic scroll, emanating brilliant, purifying light. A close-up shows the scroll glowing intensely, activating its powerful holy magic. The protagonist stands with arms outstretched as a magnificent, purifying light surges forth, banishing the darkness. The evil spirits shriek in agony and rapidly dissipate as the overwhelming holy light consumes them. Jin So-yeon observes the scene, surrounded by the remnants of the vanishing evil spirits and brilliant light. Jin So-yeon watches intently, still processing the immense power displayed by the protagonist. Jin So-yeon, stunned, recognizes the powerful flash globe scroll and demands to know how the protagonist obtained it. The protagonist grins mischievously, hinting at the unconventional origin of his powerful scroll. With a confident smile, the protagonist confesses that he simply stole the powerful item. The protagonist stands proudly, bathed in golden light, celebrating the efficacy of his powerful item. A narrative bubble humorously comments on the astonishing power of pay-to-win mechanics. Jin So-yeon looks at the protagonist, who stands triumphantly amidst the fading holy light. Jin So-yeon stares in utter disbelief, clearly shocked by the protagonist's confession. A system message confirms the snow tiger is an undead, vulnerable to holy magic like the flash globe, which acts as poison. The snow tiger is severely weakened and unable to recover, creating a critical opportunity for a decisive strike. The protagonist lands a powerful blow, causing the ground to crack and radiate impact. The snow tiger reels from the powerful impact, struggling against the overwhelming force. The protagonist prepares a final, devastating fiery punch, declaring his intention to end the fight. The protagonist unleashes a focused, mana-infused fiery punch with immense power and speed. His powerful fiery punch strikes the snow tiger, engulfing its head in a blinding inferno. The intense, fiery explosion expands, completely consuming the snow tiger in a devastating blast. Jin Seo-yeon watches the raging inferno, her expression reflecting the heat and intensity of the attack. The powerful, fiery blast continues to engulf the area, maintaining its destructive force. Jin Seo-yeon looks surprised, her gaze fixed on a new, unexpected development. Several small, spiky blue ice spirits appear, prompting questions about their mysterious presence. Jin Seo-yeon looks concerned, questioning the purpose of the newly arrived ice spirits. The protagonist explains that the ice spirits are initiating a cleansing ritual to purify the corrupted souls. An ice spirit speaks with glowing, blue energy, pleading for someone to return to them. Two ice spirits hover, extending an invitation for their friend to journey to the spirit realm. Numerous small ice spirits float around the snow tiger, which still emanates a malevolent purple aura. The protagonist and Jin Seon observe the snow tiger as it thrashes on the ground in visible distress. A piercing blue eye glows brightly, signifying a deep spiritual connection or awakening. A group of joyous ice spirits celebrates, welcoming their friend back, with tearful exclamations. An ice spirit addresses the colossal snow tiger, urging it to go to the spirit realm, while the tiger looks surprised. The snow tiger appears perplexed, surrounded by the small ice spirits, as Jin Seo-yeon intently watches. Jin Seo-yeon confronts the snow tiger, questioning if it has finally regained its senses. The snow tiger, with a surprised expression, queries the identity of the two human intruders. The protagonist cryptically explains that they merely provided some aggressive assistance to the snow tiger. The protagonist wonders if their actions could be described as aggressive means of intervention. The protagonist explains their intervention was a request from the ice spirits, holding a small pouch. Jin Seon gazes with a serious and slightly skeptical expression, absorbing the new information. The protagonist reveals that returning the snow tiger's body, acquired from an auction, was another reason for their presence. The snow tiger processes the revelation, somberly concluding that it is now deceased. Jin Seo-yeon expresses disbelief, questioning how such a powerful being could have been killed so easily. The snow tiger sorrowfully recounts that its child was captured. The snow tiger describes its attackers as possessing similar powers and clad in black armor. A flashback shows the snow tiger unleashing power against shadowy figures, radiating purple energy. The snow tiger recounts collapsing from extensive damage after pushing itself to protect its child, leading to its death. The snow tiger feels glad it managed to retrieve its child and hide them within an ice wall before its demise. The protagonist recognizes the culprits as treasure hunters from the game, opting not to engage them yet. The snow tiger makes a final request to the protagonist and Jin Seo-yeon before ascending to the spirit realm. The snow tiger implores the protagonist to exact revenge on those responsible for its demise. The snow tiger warns that its killers are extremely dangerous and will stop at nothing to achieve their aims. The protagonist accepts the quest for vengeance, anticipating a future confrontation with the perpetrators. The snow tiger entrusts its children, the small ice spirits, into the protagonist's care. The protagonist questions why the snow tiger would trust a human, considering humans were its killers. The snow tiger's response clearly conveys its absolute trust in the protagonist. The snow tiger explains its trust stems from the protagonist bringing its body to this location. The snow tiger continues, noting the protagonist's act of helping the ice spirits as another reason for trust. The snow tiger finishes, affirming its trust in the protagonist because he ultimately saved it. The protagonist expresses gratitude for the trust, but admits his current lack of strength to guarantee the child's long-term safety. A glowing blue eye appears, offering assistance to the protagonist if he ever finds himself lacking strength. The protagonist smiles, signifying his acceptance of the new, mutually beneficial agreement. The protagonist and Jin Seo-yeon watch as a mystical blue orb appears, indicating an incoming power transfer. The protagonist, with a determined expression, instructs someone to accept the glowing power. A radiant blue light surges upwards from a central point, signaling the transfer of profound spiritual energy. A status window confirms the protagonist has absorbed all of the Snow Tiger's lifelong accumulated power. The protagonist reacts as a status window confirms his magical power has increased by 1 level. A system notification announces that the protagonist has gained both a new trait and a new skill. 2 status windows detail the protagonist's new Frostlord trait and Cold Aura skill as he stands empowered. Jin Seoyeon observes the protagonist with surprise, noting his mana has significantly increased. The Snow Tiger states that the time has come, as the protagonist, Jin Seoyeon, and Ice Spirits stand together. The narrative states that for beings like them who exist between worlds, death holds no significance. The Snow Tiger shifts its head, indicating a profound change in its spiritual state. The Snow Tiger looks forward with a calm resolve, ready for its final journey. The small ice spirits bid a sorrowful farewell to their cherished friend. A close-up shows an ice spirit shedding tears, overcome with emotion as it watches the departure. The Snow Tiger bids a solemn farewell, expressing its difficulty with goodbyes as its spirit begins to fade. The Snow Tiger is asked by an unseen ice spirit if it is now departing for the spirit realm. The Snow Tiger's eye is shown as it promises to repay the protagonist's help, ensuring its request will be fulfilled. The protagonist promises the departing Snow Tiger that he will visit it in the spirit realm, bringing its child. The Snow Tiger spirit conveys its bemusement and comfort regarding the protagonist's audacious promise. The protagonist and Jin Seoyeon look up, accepting the Snow Tiger's spiritual departure and its promise to await them. The protagonist looks surprised as an ice spirit questions his bold intention to visit the spirit realm. 3 small ice spirits express concern for the protagonist's journey to the spirit realm, offering him a special gift. A system status window announces that the protagonist's Friend of the Ice Spirits trait has evolved. A system notification highlights the protagonist's newly acquired trait, the one invited to the spirit realm. A system window details the benefits of the protagonist's new trait, easing his future path to the spirit realm. The protagonist acknowledges the future utility of his new trait, as an ice spirit urgently calls out to him. The small ice spirits depart with the Snow Tiger's soul, bidding a sorrowful farewell to the protagonist and Jin Seoyeon. Jin Seoyeon wonders if their mission is complete, but the protagonist confirms there is still another task ahead. The protagonist and Jin Seoyeon continue their journey, walking through the icy, snow-covered landscape. The protagonist and Jin Seoyeon are encased in a protective, glowing blue aura within an icy cavern. The Snow Tiger cub lies injured on the ice, its wounds staining its white fur. A closer view confirms the critical nature of the Snow Tiger cub's deep, painful wound. The protagonist and Jin Seoyeon realize the cub needs immediate medical treatment for its severe injury. The protagonist prepares to administer medicine to the cub, noting the real-life similarity to a game mechanic. The protagonist carefully pours a glowing green liquid onto the cub's wound, observing its severe appearance. The protagonist continues to apply the healing liquid, planning to also feed some to the injured cub. Jin Seoyeon looks at the protagonist with surprise, questioning if he himself crafted the powerful medicine. The protagonist explains his medicine's purpose and expensive ingredients, while Jin Seoyeon wonders who attacked the small cub. The protagonist internally identifies the cub's attackers as the dangerous treasure hunters. Dark, shadowy figures, the treasure hunters, are revealed as grave robbers who hunt spirit creatures. The narrative reveals the treasure hunters are foreshadowing a major incident which is currently being allowed to happen. The protagonist reflects on the overwhelming tasks ahead, while Jin Seoyeon observes him with concern. Jin Seoyeon presses the protagonist about their agreement, sensing an intense mana accumulation around them. Jin Seoyeon describes the intense cold mana permeating the icy cave accumulated by the Snow Tiger. Jin Seoyeon, looking at the protagonist, insists on his protection while she gathers the accumulated mana. Jin Seoyeon begins to express her annoyance about having to pay a price for her efforts. The protagonist reassures Jin Seoyeon, showing off his ability to protect them while cradling the adorable cub. Jin Seoyeon is utterly captivated by the cub's cuteness, momentarily forgetting her previous irritation. The protagonist, holding the cub, tries to regain Jin Seoyeon's attention, as she remains distracted. Jin Seyeon acknowledges her reliance on the protagonist for protection, proposing a mutual exchange of favors. Jin Seoyeon informs the protagonist her mana collection will take 3 days, requesting his continued protection. Jin Seoyeon prepares to utilize her clan's special heaven-surging mind technique for mana accumulation. Jin Seoyeon demonstrates a mage's unique mana-breathing technique, floating slightly as she begins her accumulation. Jin Seoyeon actively uses the mana-breathing technique, accumulating swirling blue energy around her. Jin Seoyeon's mastery of the mana-breathing technique, a key to her high status, is clearly displayed. The protagonist observes Jin Seoyeon, contemplating her cautious nature and inherent layers of mistrust. A detailed status window displays the protagonist Yoo Baekjun's current stats, traits, and skills. The protagonist reviews his increased stats, particularly his mana, expressing satisfaction with his recent growth. The protagonist grimly assesses his power, recognizing it's still far from enough for future threats in a rapidly evolving world. Ominous, monstrous figures underscore the immense power required to face future formidable adversaries. The protagonist considers his abilities, a subtle glow hinting at his developing inner strength. The protagonist cradles the cub, anticipating its future usefulness with a gentle, hopeful smile. The protagonist contemplates the day's eventful happenings, planning to rest and consider future strategies. The protagonist reaches into his pocket, signaling an imminent action before resting. The protagonist bravely prepares for battle, determined to deal with the shadowy figures surrounding him. The icy cavern lies still, the quiet punctuated only by soft ZZ sounds of deep sleep. The protagonist sleeps soundly, the small snow tiger cub nestled safely and peacefully against his chest. A close-up shows the protagonist's face in deep slumber, indicating his profound exhaustion and rest. Jin Seoyeon quietly approaches the protagonist, who is still cradling the sleeping snow tiger cub. The protagonist yawns, surprised that Jin Seoyeon's intense mana absorption was completed swiftly in just 3 days. Jin Seoyeon smiles, thanking the protagonist for allowing her to fully absorb the immense mana without distraction. Jin Seoyeon observes the many fallen treasure hunters, recognizing the protagonist's hard work in protecting her. Jin Seoyeon kindly asks the protagonist about his condition, showing concern for his efforts. Jin Seoyeon glows with refreshed mana, expressing how invigorated she feels after absorbing the accumulated energy. The protagonist marvels internally at Jin Seoyeon's astonishing mana absorption, noting her already monstrous stats have grown even more. The snow tiger cub begins to stir in the protagonist's arms, letting out a small, awakening cry. Both the protagonist and Jin Seoyeon are surprised to see the cub awake, immediately checking on its well-being. The snow tiger cub stretches and purrs, fully recovered and standing energetically on its own 4 paws. The snow tiger cub confidently walks away from the protagonist, leaving him wondering if he had been too close. The small snow tiger cub lets out a mournful roar, expressing its profound sadness and distress. The protagonist and Jin Seoyeon observe the cub, understanding it must be feeling the painful emptiness of its mother's absence. The snow tiger cub continues to let out a sorrowful roar, its cries echoing with profound grief. A dark vision depicts the powerful mother snow tiger being overwhelmed and defeated by menacing shadowy figures. The injured mother snow tiger lies tragically impaled by multiple sharp spikes, highlighting her brutal defeat. The protagonist kneels, somberly stating that the cub's continued mourning is ultimately pointless. The protagonist gently explains to the snow tiger cub that its mother has departed for the spirit realm, entrusting it to him. The snow tiger cub looks up at the protagonist, its expression conveying a knowing awareness of recent events. The protagonist promises the cub he knows its mother's attackers and will help it reunite with her in the spirit realm. The protagonist kneels, extending an invitation to the cub, asking it to accompany him on his journey. The snow tiger cub purrs softly, a clear sign of its acceptance and newfound contentment. The cub eagerly leaps into the protagonist's arms, forming a trusting and affectionate bond. The protagonist tenderly holds the cub, observing its tears and noting its continued sadness. Jin Seo-yeon asks the protagonist if losing one's family is a sad thing, prompting a solemn reflection. Narrative panels reveal the brutal, loveless traditions of the Sword Saint clan and Magic Tower regarding family and succession. The narrator explains that Jin Seo-yeon's cautious and detached demeanor is understandable given her harsh upbringing. The protagonist confirms that losing family is indeed a sad experience, contrasting with Jin Seo-yeon's learned indifference. The protagonist's intense gaze reflects a profound realization about the strange and difficult lives they both lead. The protagonist and Jin Seo-yeon stand together, contemplating the unique and challenging paths their lives have taken. The scene transitions to a magnificent establishing shot of the traditional Sword Saint clan buildings nestled among grand mountains. Two young men from the Sword Saint clan eagerly greet the protagonist upon his arrival, calling him young master. The protagonist and Jin Seo-yeon arrive, as one of the clan members expresses they were eagerly awaiting their return. One of the clan members expresses shock and bewilderment at the protagonist's apparent sudden weight gain. The protagonist calmly clarifies that he hasn't gained weight, preparing to reveal the true reason for his bulk. The protagonist proudly reveals the adorable snow tiger cub peeking out from within his clothes, the source of his weight. A clan member collapses in shock and accuses the protagonist of stealing the rare baby tiger. Jin Seo-yeon tends to the shocked clan member, while another scolds the protagonist for the chaotic scene. The protagonist, visibly annoyed by the commotion, expresses a strong desire to finally get some rest. A narrative panel explains Jin Seo-yeon's compassionate nature towards animals leads her to stay longer and care for the cub. The scene transitions to a tranquil, moonlit night at the Sword Saint clan, hinting at new challenges. The protagonist, wearing a sleeping mask, expresses frustration at his inability to achieve quality sleep. The protagonist watches the cub chewing on furniture, realizing his new companion is a mischievous, nocturnal creature. The energetic cub, now named Seo-yeon, playfully causes chaos, having fully recovered from its injuries thanks to the protagonist. The mischievous cub, Seo-yeon, continues its destructive play, tearing wallpaper and breaking objects. The cub, Seo-yeon, strikes an innocently adorable pose after its bout of playful destruction. The protagonist, wearing a sleep mask, wakes up with a confused expression from his bed. Seo-yeon, the mischievous cub, stares intently with glowing eyes, making the protagonist question its strange gaze. The energetic Seo-yeon bites the protagonist, who cries out in surprise and pain from the sudden attack. The protagonist is sprawled on the floor amidst scattered items, having been knocked over by the playful cub. Exhausted and battered, the protagonist lies on the floor, wishing for an end to the cub's relentless antics. A clan member calls out to the protagonist, informing him they found the person he was seeking, while Seo-yeon gnaws on furniture. The protagonist acknowledges the successful search, confirming that the target was located exactly as predicted. The protagonist, still in his sleep mask, gives a slight smile, confirming he will arrive at the designated location soon. The scene transitions to an establishing shot of the densely packed houses in the Busan slums under a dim sky. A closer view shows a modest house with a closed gate and stairs, indicating a specific dwelling within the slums. A man aggressively bangs on a door, demanding that Song Hyung-kyuk come out immediately. Three men gather at the door, with one ordering the others to forcibly break it open if no one answers. The door is violently broken, and a young man inside falls back in shock as the intruders burst in. The terrified young man protests, questioning the legality of their trespassing and threatening behavior. A large, menacing man dismisses legal concerns, focusing on the young man's debt and lack of repayment. The young man insists he isn't the debtor, but the large man reveals his father signed the contract with the young man's name. The large man roughly grabs the young man's hair, intimidating him with physical force. The large man threatens the young man, demanding he clear dungeons to repay the debt, refusing any excuses. The young man desperately explains his low-rank status prevents him from entering gates and his disinterest in working as a hunter. The large man violently punches the young man, enraged by his continued resistance and refusal. The young man collapses to his knees, holding his bleeding face after being struck by the large man. A close-up shows the large man's determined and unyielding expression, ready to continue his assault. Sounds of violent impact fill the panel as a new figure arrives and commands the men to stop. A man smoking explains they must ensure the debt is repaid, offering to help the young man earn money. The young man, on the ground, reveals his deep fear of becoming like his father, explaining his aversion to clearing gates. The smoking man calmly states that the young man's understanding is flawed, implying dire consequences regardless of his choices. The smoking man coldly orders to kill him as a shadowy figure lunges at the young man. A new, strong hand intervenes, firmly grabbing the attacker's fist mid-strike. A woman with short hair calmly holds the attacker's fist, protecting the young man on the ground. The attacker recoils in shock, questioning the sudden appearance of the mysterious woman. The debt collectors express their confusion and surprise, having not sensed the mysterious woman's approach. The protagonist appears behind the smoking man, calmly stating that doors are meant to be opened, not violently broken. The protagonist steps forward, admonishing the debt collectors for their lack of basic manners. The protagonist offers to pay the debt, but the debt collectors dismiss him, claiming the sum is too immense for him. The young man is horrified to learn the debt has inflated to $2 billion, far exceeding the original amount. The smoking man explains the massive interest and societal importance of family, then offers two options to the protagonist. The protagonist sternly presents two choices. Either the debt collectors leave with only the principal, or they leave with nothing. The protagonist recommends the principal-only option, but the smoking man aggressively rejects his proposal. The protagonist calmly reminds the smoking man that true debt repayment includes both principal and interest. The protagonist delivers a swift, powerful strike to the smoking man's face, interrupting his words. The smoking man lies unconscious on the ground, bloodied and defeated by the protagonist's blow. The furious protagonist declares that disrespecting him, the young master, will be the cause of their demise.